Da-da-da. Hello, folks. This is Records of the Realm. I am Vander. I am here to bug y'all with our normal Sunday game of the Light Arc. With me is a crew that still does not have a name yet. At some point, that's got to be a thing you guys figure out.
Let's just go with the Radiant Babes. That's like the only one that's really stuck.
If you guys want to, we can do that. But we'll wait for Mel and discuss. I'm sure Mel won't mind because that is the one that she suggested. But we'll discuss anyways. Either way, welcome to the Light Arc. We just finished basically Act 1 of 3 or 4 or 5. They had their little downtime break. And now we are back to seeing what the heckity heck might happen. I'm going to...
What in the hickety heck?
Down our captions. There we go. Before we get fully started, I'm going to just give us a quick shout out for two things. One, everyone who's donating to the Crit for Players challenge. Very much appreciate that. My players need all the help they can get, so whenever you can give it to them, I appreciate it. The next is the Vault of the Ivory Queen. We have 3 days left on it. Has already met its been fully funded. We'd love to see if we can hit a stretch goal or two. See what happens, but either way, thank you for anyone who's contributed so far. Please check it out if you'd like. Also, on Friday's game of Gentlefolk, during our break, we will be giving away the book that you guys earned by putting together community challenge points. So, good job on that. Awesome for this. We're going to quickly go around, let everybody introduce themselves and give any shout outs to things that they may be working on and a little bit about their characters. And then we will recap and get started. I'm Vander from Vander Vision. I do cosplay photography and videography, and I make D&D stuff. Up to Kareen.
Hello. Sorry, I had to wait for my thing to unmute. Hi, I'm Kareen. You can see my socials here. It's my name. There you go. I play Ethel Moonshade. I have to remember how to do this intro every single time. I play Ethel Moonshade. She's the Cleric of Selune. And today it's going to be very interesting. I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen, honestly. We are going to pass it up even further to Una.
Oh, I'm Nova. I am Locomania22 in chat, but also on all of my socials. And I play Asunar Keyrel, our half-orc drow barbarian wizard conundrum. Let's see if I know how to use magic, because I still need to fix my spellbook. I'm gonna pass it over to my right.
That's you, Anders.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Anders. I'm going to be playing Sin Alamode, a high elf chef. And shout outs to the Storyteller Squad podcast at thestorytellersquad.com. Check us out. I play another wackier character there. Plenty of shenanigans.
Some good shenanigans.
And then passing it on in the correct direction.
Oh, that would be to me. Hi, I'm Rachel, and I play Temerity, the gay one, but also straight. And hi, my primary social is pink.tiefling. But if you have been tuning into our episodes in the past, you'll know that I am somewhat known for going extra ham on my makeup each week. Here's a little close up for today. We did lots of sparkles. But if you would like to see this and other makeup that I've done, please go follow my makeup Instagram, which is tiefling.design. Thanks.
Nice. I'm loving the extra lights, by the way. Like, we need that effervescent, ever-changing rainbow to just be going.
I'm at the party already, baby. I'm the disco ball.
This is fair. Who would like to give
Let's hang you from a pulley system. That was an unfinished song.
No.
I apologize.
Who would like to give the recap of either just the last session, basically, just the of our recap session? We don't have Mel, so someone else has to pretend that they can do it.
I'll do it again.
Yay! Rochelle.
Hi, it's me again, the gay one with the makeup. Um, so last episode we had a bunch of downtime, and each character had a bunch of little things that they were attempting to do over the course of 10 days that we had in the downtime month in game, where nothing directly related to the case that we know of was happening. So I'll start with my character. I pretty much spent the whole time wooing my wife, and also I got an apprentice who is a centaur, whose name is Bucky. uh, let's see. Asunar spent some time doing some side jobs and work around town. Please tell me if I'm forgetting anything. Asunar also competed in a fight pit where she kicked ass, and it was awesome. And then let's see, we had Ethel went around with the church to make sure that everyone was okay after the incident with the portals that went down at the beginning of the 10-day. And then spent some time with her manses, Walter, and let's see. Ethel also began learning Thieves' Cant with her underground lessons. She also attended Nick Findley's funeral, who is her rival Judy's husband, or deceased, who was her rival Judy's husband. Uh, and tried to get a little view on how Judy was doing, and did her best to kind of ease her pain from afar without getting too closely involved. Ethel also experienced her, or looked into her creepy reoccurring dream, um, and seeing if there was anybody else who was experiencing similar dreams, and she was actually able to find that um, a past champion had also experienced similar dreams as her. Let's see. She also schmoozed with Nick's friends via Pi, um, and got close enough to be able to read the words that were on the flower that came from Nick's body, and found that it was the same as what was on Lonnie's, who was also killed in the same section of time. Then we have Kanitae. She visited the Astor Institute, took a tour through Ashen Industrial, and looked closer into the ancient item known as the Primeval Artifice, and found that it was a hologram. What? And Kanate then spent some time searching for a gem of seeing, which she was eventually able to obtain through busking. And then Kanate and Asunar went to do some more research regarding the creepy druids, to find that it had been a red herring. Nicely done, Vincent. And then last but certainly not least, we have our newbie, Sin Amin Alamode, who spent the time. Let's see here. What did you do? First responded to several sending messages from his very concerned mother, who was Earthside, regarding the collapsed portal to the floating city. Sin also went to learn more about what all was going on with the case that the rest of the party was looking into, and was able to get caught up before visiting the underground to see if there was any more information for him to find down there, where he gifted some chocolate-filled churros to his underground connection, Kiku, before returning back to the top side. 10-day 2. Sin and Ethel took part in a cooking class at the Church of Selune. And then Sin and several members of the Chalice went down to the underground to go raving under the group name The Glitters. And ran into Walter, of course, the party animal he is. And then Sin approached Trine and tried to figure out why she was so damn creepy and always in the Chalice and like kind of being weird with Bree. Because she's just literally in there staring, straight staring all the time. And that interaction thankfully ended with Sin getting hired to work alongside the group and make the ridiculous amount of money that the rest of the group was making. So that's it. That's all, unless I missed something. Show's over. Bye.
Please don't do that. Please don't leave people. Awesome job. I think that covered basically everything that's worth like literally actually talking about. Yeah, in addition to that, it is beginning to get a little warmer. It's gone from the chill cold and having to deal with like the snow that's been dropping and leaving like the light footprints to getting to just like that cool spring, because spring is on its way in Vagari, specifically on Wishfall. I had to make sure Kiku had those tip in. It's nice. Kiku's last name is definitely Rumi. In addition to the stuff that you guys have been dealing with already, a few things have happened that we left off with a little bit at the end of last session. I didn't feel like telling you then because it's more fun telling you now. One, over time, a couple of you noticed that a few things are missing. Ethel, you noticed that your little gear with the word lunar written on it is missing.
I'm sorry.
It's missing. I'll repeat it again if you want. It's missing. You go looking for it one day, can't find it. A couple of you guys may notice your stuff too, but we'll have to wait to see if you find out what you're missing in character during a session. Second, the Seven Graves Killer, as the person has been named, has not been found yet. It has been left unresolved so far. That whole month that went by, no arrests have been made related to it, but they're calling him the Seven Graves Killer. In addition to that, each of you, talking with Trine and learning a little more at the collective, have gotten access to a new cantrip. I sent them as a whole onto our group. And I will send them individually to you guys in just a moment. Rachel, with your Temerity, with your penchant for gems, she teaches you a cantrip called Gemmed Touch. It's based off of gem dragons. Can't find some people's names. There we go. Ethel.
Oh fuck! I was muted the whole time. I was so funny too. Damn
I'm sure
it.
you are, Ethel. You are given Salutary as a healing cantrip to help out with your clerical capabilities.
Cool.
We do not currently have Kanitae here. Kanitae receives Sense Magic for the divination work that she was doing. And the last two, the Chromatic Touch and Metallic Touch, I will let Asunar and Sin decide which one which. It's up to you guys if you prefer Chromatic Dragons versus Metallic Dragons or whatever the fuck, but that's up to you guys to choose.
No preference. Take your pick.
What were they again? I just got sidetracked.
Called Chromatic Touch and Metallic Touch. They are different cantrips that she found in the general library and eventually teaches you guys over. This is part of those minimal times where you guys got paid an absurd amount to work. You guys got to learn a cantrip too, apparently.
That's fantastic.
You're so generous.
In addition to that, as spring is moving closer, as part of Wishfall's outreach to the people who were hurt in the landslide on the land side,
I hate it.
thank you. Some people have been migrating into the city. A couple Goliath and a couple Furbolg individuals. It's very rare amount of people, like less than 20. But it was just some new people brought in that were either hurt, felt very displaced from where they were. Wishfall's just doing their best to reach out and bring people up into the city. These people are given jobs that kind of fell by the wayside because 7 people were murdered, so there's a lot of job openings in really weird spots right now. There is also going to be the Oversky Orb is going to be announcing a new newscaster soon, so that's exciting for the people who really love having all their news broadcasted all the time. In addition to that, some of the side things that have been going on for all of you guys. For at least 2 of you, I'm trying to remember all the things. Ethel, Judy still, besides getting up to do some of her daily tasks, she also has some clerical capabilities, so besides the little bit of healing that she does here and there to help people, she's still very unmoving, unflinching, she's just still not a very, very active person. Not a lot has changed there.
Okay.
Temerity, Bucky has been doing great. You've been teaching well. Bucky is excelling. It is something that is not very attuned to a centaur's body. Killing it for what can be. Either you're a great teacher or she's just naturally gifted in this. Either way, it's working out wonders. There's also been rumors going around the Jewel Chalice that the announcement of the Angel Gem will be at the end of this week. At your fighting rings that you've been going to through Asunar, you've noticed that an old rival, Lythra, has begun showing up there. Hasn't made contact, hasn't talked to you, but the last time you went last week, there was just an eye contact between you two, and then there was just a turn and walk away. Sin, I got no new updates for you, unfortunately. I don't have enough history with you yet. Also, at some point, you should write me a backstory that's in a Google Doc so I have more information. But that's a separate thing that we can work on another time. But, when you go down and visit the people down below and stuff, of the people here, you're kind of the only one that really gets away with going down there and kind of being able to hop around, so you have, pretty good movement down there that, if they keep trying to be nosy down there, will hopefully be useful at some point.
Did you two decide which spell you want?
I'm taking metallic.
Chromatic.
Thank you.
Nice.
And where can we see these spells?
They were sent to you in our group chat in Messenger, and I sent some of them to you guys individually.
Thank you.
I didn't get to everybody. That's about me. In addition to that, there is another holiday coming very shortly. This week, at the end of this week, there is going to be a pair of days called Transition Days, where what goes from the 45 days of winter transitions to the 45 days of spring. The last day of winter and the first day of spring are called Passage Days, which are basically 1/4 holidays that are the opposite of the solstice and equinox holidays. They are right in between on the opposite ends, but instead of being single day holidays, they are dual day holidays. So at the end of this week, there is going to be a pair of days that are called Discovery Days, which is about going into spring, new growth, new innovation, new ideas, and a step forward. Not too dissimilar to the theme you guys dealt with at the gallery, which was like a life step forward. This is along the same veins where it's like people moving forward, bringing out new ideas, new inventions, new recipes, new dances, new whatever it is that they're doing. And they're asked to showcase at what is basically like almost like an open fair, whether you want to call it like a science fair or like a county fair or something. It's like people just bring out things that they're making to show off new ideas to help stimulate growth in the society, specifically the city. Ashen Industrial actually puts up prizes for the new ideas to really stimulate the appetite. So yearly around this time, they call it the Ashen Industrial Innovation Fair, or Innovation Competition, either one. So at the end of the week, during the first of the 2 days of the Discovery Days, there is a competition where if you guys have innovations that you'd like to do, again, anything, cooking techniques, dancing techniques, a poem, a limerick, something unique and interesting, you're welcome to bring it. The day afterwards, which is the final day of the 10-day, which is the day that the Angel Gem will be announced, there is something of a ball called... Did I write this down? The Aetheri Ball, which is basically just a really fancy dance. But instead of like the rave underground, it's more waltz, formal dancing, formal outfits. So those 2 days coincide, and the first one's about 5 days away. So there's some time to kill. But you guys all now know about this, which you didn't before. Because it's fun to tease you guys with new details.
You're so great.
Thanks. So
that was sarcasm.
we are in the middle of a new 10-day. The one that's transferring over from winter to spring. What are you guys doing? What's the beginning of this week or the middle of this week looking like for y'all? Anything specific that y'all are doing? Your own plans?
That was the thickest paragraph I've ever written, just for the record.
You're welcome.
I imagine, so here's my thought process. I feel like Ethel probably submits something to this fair every year, not just for the experience, not necessarily to win every year, just to experience the submission every year. This tracks, I feel like, for her. So she's probably, in my thought process is, she's inviting people to her place to try out the thing that she's going to submit. I'm going to say it's going to be a dessert. And so it's going to be like pie night. Give me a couple minutes to think about what actually the dessert is, but it's going to be like our pie nights that we have had in the past. Ethel will happily invite everybody over to participate and also to taste test her food.
That is fair. Anybody else have their own individual ideas for plans or anything that they want to make sure gets accomplished?
No, it's very sudden, Vincent.
Did you have anything before? It doesn't have to be related to the things at the end of the week. It could also just be any additional things you didn't accomplish during the other 10 days that you had.
Oh. Oh, I feel like I had something that I wanted to do, but then I went, shit, I'm out of time. Let me think.
Take your time. Asunar and Sin.
I'm gonna try and figure out why the fuck Lithra's here, because she should not be here.
What's that?
Because fuck her, that's why.
Well, that's fair enough reasoning, I guess.
I remembered too.
All right, cool. You can figure out you can do some sleuthing. Temerity.
So
I just wanted to go around and just like check in with everybody at the chalice and the harp, to just see how they're doing, because like, you know, like I care about them, and the main tenet of one of the main tenets of the Angel Gem is charity, so like helping out your fellow dancers and performers. So I just want to check in. I circle back with Wila Singh, see how they're doing after all the stress with the head prominence several weeks ago. Make sure that they're not ripping up their outfits still. You know, see if anybody's sit in on like people practicing, and like if they seem like they're really struggling with a move or something, to like help them out. If anyone seems like down, or like they're just not vibing with the job anymore, you know, I want to talk to them about it. Just kind of, I take my mentorship role seriously. And I also want to be a good example for Bucky on like how to, like, the only thing cooler than being the Angel Gem is being the Angel Gem and training the next Angel Gem, you know? So I want to be a good example for her.
Keep it in the family. Anyways, yeah. And Sin, how about you? What, anything specifically that you have that you want to be kind of working on?
So we're midway through the week, which means that pretty much every night this week, Sin has, gotten home to his room, looked over a scattering of notebook pages with various cooking recipes and chopping techniques, half put together, not anywhere sort of complete. And as he looks at it, and then he looks at his glow clothes for raving, and he looks back at the cookbook and back at the rave clothes, because Sin's known about this event since forever. It's the yearly city thing. He's been trying to put this thing together, but just keeps procrastinating. And at this point, he's like, we're midway through the week. We'll save it for next year. Next year's the year.
All right. So Sin's going out raving and having a good time instead of stressing out about making that one of a kind thing. Now, meals have won before, so there have been like desserts or meals that have won before. What normally happens with those is either they get put into one of the higher end restaurants, like the Top of the Rift, as like something that you continually getting a fund from. So like you get like 1% every time someone buys the meal or something like that. Or, if preferred, and depending on the type of meal, Ashen Industrial buys the rights to it, and gives you a share of it, and they make it kind of not like a microwavable meal, but not like far away off from like a microwavable meal. A very quick, easy version of it. So it's basically like you invented like the best chicken pot pie, and then they found out the best way to put it in a microwave for 20 seconds and pop it out.
So basically, you have to choose if you want to sell your recipe to Gordon Ramsay or Martha Stewart.
Kinda. You also don't have to, but the funding from it's nothing to sneeze at. It's never-ending funding that just continuously comes. It's like being a victor at the end of the Hunger Games. You just keep having money cycling in, and you don't gotta do any more work. It's just a little less trauma, kind of, maybe. Except in Wishfall, apparently. But, But yeah, that's a thing for you guys who are food-based to think about. But, Temerity.
What are the prizes?
That, oh damn, a couple of your people would know because they've been here for a while. Yeah, so you guys would know. So there are 3 prizes. They're all monetary based. Sometimes they change the prize up for number 1, but 3rd place gets 3,000 gold. 2nd place gets 5,000 gold. And then 1st place is either 10,000 gold or like 5,000 gold plus something special. So again, some solid money. If you talk about it with Sin will tell you that at one point someone got a manor one time from one of the past winnings, like one of the penthouses in like the upper part of the city.
I was gonna say a manor on Wishfall? Because
Yeah.
that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Getting
This
a
is a
large
special
house in a
anniversary.
floating city.
Yep. Yeah, that happened once, and very long time ago. There was a thing that was like, oh yeah, that was a bad idea. We're never doing that again.
They were like, oh, we can't afford to give manors to that many people.
Yeah, you can't give a manor to somebody every year. That's gonna reduce the number of manors we got. So that one person has a manor. They probably bought the manor off the person again. Let's be real. But yeah, you guys are able to easily get a lot of this stuff accomplished. Ethel, was there a specific dish that you're thinking of making, or like were you again doing like the smorgasbord pie thing? Never mind. Green's talking to somebody. Asunar, how are you sleuthing out the details about your old friend? You just gonna go straight up and
I'm gonna avoid talking to her as much as like for as long as I can. I'm gonna try asking other people why she's here.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me. You know these people pretty well. Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get my character.
That's fair. Yeah, you've been here almost every week or like every 10 day, like doing some stuff, so you know these people.
Sorry, by the way.
That's
Wasn't expecting that.
13.
13. You ask one of the other people that are around here, and they're like, just like find out. Probably just like ask. Be like, hey, what got you up here? You're a drow floating in the sky where there's lots of sunlight. Why are you up? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Um.
Seems good enough to me.
All right. Roll me a d20.
Adding anything?
No. Can't tell you.
19.
Roll a 19. Dang. Okay. Yeah. One of your friends that you spar with comes back over. Explains. They apparently moved into part of a Goliath commune village of some sort that like dealt with like the landslide really badly down on that side. So they came. She was one of the people that they selected to bring up here for living here as like exchange program stuff. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works, but she said, yeah, no, it was part of like the whole rock slide deal.
Would you say that they're like refugees?
Kind of. There was already a community down there that was taking care of them, but between whatever other factors and half a mountain falling on them, some people didn't want to be there anymore, and Wishfall needed extra people because they've lost a few. So it was kind of a balance and a goodwill look to them. So refugees is probably close as you can get to.
Gotcha.
Alright. For specifically Lithra, I'm not quite gonna believe that because of my own personal bias.
That's fair. You're allowed to have those. Alright.
Bitch be stalking me, I am convinced.
That's fair. um
Bitches be stalking.
but yeah, Sin, you're still able to go out and have a good time. Temerity, you're able to check in on the other people. The nice thing about again having Sin being in your back pocket now is that like any like side details from the back room you can pick up from Sin real easily. But people appreciate the checking in on. It's nice to have while listening. Has been a lot better. Azaran really like rubbed some people the wrong way that night. Not kind of intended, I guess, but not really. Yeah, it didn't go great, but like since then, a lot of things been having a good time. Scarlett's still doing good. Bree's still doing good. Like everyone else is still doing all right. But roll me an insight check.
You bet. Okay, sorry. I gotta finish typing. My clients at work are like, "You type so fast. I can't imagine ever being able to type that fast. How can you type like that?" And I'm like, "I play D&D."
You're like,
You wouldn't have happened to say if that was advantage.
you can have advantage. There you go.
Ah! Do I still get the fate point from getting a 1?
Would
Yes.
anyone like to see my cat being a dipshit right now?
Yeah.
No. Now, I would love to see your cat. I just rolled 2 1s. Can I get
Okay.
2 fate points, please? Because this is bullshit.
You do get a fate point for each one. So
Thank God.
enjoy that.
I hate
Um,
this.
He stopped, but he was just chasing his tail and doing somersaults.
Aw.
that you are, despite having a good time and having a lot of like good interactions with your coworkers, you're still a little stressy about your place as the angel.
Hmm.
2 nat ones definitely don't help, unfortunately.
Yeah. Double 1s, baby.
Yeah, we love that.
All right, I'll just stress, obsess over trying to come up with something for this fucking competition.
That is 100% fair.
This is my first year, and Temerity found out about it really late. Temerity's a planner, so like we're not vibing right now. We're stressed for many reasons.
As you go around doing your normal stuff, you do notice that you are missing a golden key that you bought as part of your trinket collection.
Son of a bitch.
During your time down in the underground.
Sun on its handle. Stop looking at my notes. Don't use my notes to sabotage me, you bastard. I see you.
It's derogatory.
He's sitting in my notes.
I don't have to. I can go to my notes that have the same lists. It's just easier to type in light and pull up your thing.
Well, you're welcome.
Oh, whoops. I just dragged something and I didn't mean to. Whoopsies.
Oh, nice.
You're
That's not where that goes.
I made it. We're good. Control Z fixes everything. Yeah, so...
Oh, question. Sorry, I keep
yes.
asking things.
How dare you ask questions in a role-playing game.
Wondering...
Boy.
In a mystery game, no less.
Boy. Don't. Please.
Is there some way that I could use like a fantasy telephone booth or something? Because I want to call someone Earthside. Planet side,
yeah.
not Earth.
Yeah, there's definitely like setups like that. One of the things that they have almost like gem screens, like very flattened LCD gem screens that you could use to make like a video call. It's not, there's no...
Oh, like in Pokemon.
Yeah, there are no personal use ones, but there's like public versions of them. I'm glad you said literally what I... Yeah, thank you. It was literally what I was thinking. Yeah, so you could make a call. It's treated like sending and a little bit like scrying. It's a weird combination of the two. Who are you trying to call?
That's so magic. I am trying to call... Hold on a second. I'm gonna call my mom.
Trying to get the song on the line.
Yep.
Yeah, that is... Boy, I hope that's a friend of yours, Anders. Yeah.
I read that name wrong. I just want to apologize to Flashlight Guy.
Anyways, Temerity, you are able to get into contact with your madre. Um, what are you trying to contact her about? Is it like you just trying to send her a quick message, or doing a full check-in?
Yeah, full check-in with my mama. I just want to talk to her. I don't know. Would I have been able to like make a call like that when I was planetside?
No.
Okay, so
There's
this is
not as
probably the
many
first time I've
places.
talked to her in a long time.
Yeah, no, like unless you sent them sending message, and you could like have people like pay people to like do a quick sending, but to like get like the full experience, like you're kind of scrying in on her as they're like in the house, just like relaxing and talking together. You see, Song and Charity are just like sitting together, like on a couch, just like relaxing. They're both reading a book, one in each hand, uh, cuddling together as you call. They don't really get a notification as you like are quiet, but the second you speak, like Song's ears perk up as she like
Oh,
looks.
well, aren't you two just the most adorable things?
There's like a brief just like look around in concern, and Charity's like, "What's going on?" And
Hi, Mama.
Temerity,
Turn
you've
around.
become
Turn
very
around.
good at.
I'm not throwing my voice. Just turn around.
Like literally dealing with a boomer with a cell phone.
Yeah.
Just keep turning it wider. Hold it farther back. Yeah. Eventually, she zones into the right spot where you are, but she can't see you. So she's just like hearing your voice coming from like this like little orb that she can't even see. She's like, Temerity, did you get really good at magic, or what's going on? This is new. Hi.
Well, of course, I'm fabulous at magic, but I am using one of the nice fancy things on the new floating magical city that I live in called the Wishfall. And I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing,
Oh,
you and Dad.
we're doing great. You're on Wishfall too. How long have you been there?
What do you mean, too?
Harmony's been up there. I got like a letter from Harmony like 2 months ago.
Oh, a letter. I mean, why wouldn't they just call?
I I don't know. It's great to hear your voice though. Are you having fun up there? You guys being nice? Is it good? Is it weird? Is it? It's a flying city. I get very confused by the details that I got. It sounds fantastical, but I am worried.
Well, I understand your worries, Mother, but no, I actually have not seen Harmony. Um, they hadn't reached out to me about being here. Um, but regardless, I've been here for handful of months now. I work. I'm a performer in the city, a rather well-known one,
As you should
thankfully.
be. As you should
Oh,
be.
as you should.
Well, what
That's what
mischief are you
my
getting up
coworkers
to?
say. Oh, well, you know, a little of this, a little of that. I'm currently on an investigation team for a serial murder that is going on around the city, but don't worry. Of course, we're as safe as can be. Um, we're the investigators after all. And you know, I use my gifts from you and Father to get where I need to be.
That's always good to hear. Have you found anybody while you're up there? When am I getting grandkid? No.
Oh God, here we go. Actually, that's interesting you ask, Mother, because and I'm sorry to have not informed you earlier because I just haven't had the means. But I have found someone, and she's the most wonderful woman. I've never met anyone like her. She actually rivals me in the level of interest that surrounds her. Um, but we we are married.
You're married?
Yes,
Uh,
very happily so.
That's amazing. You see Charity's in the background being just mumbling the word back. What are you doing? What's going on? And Song's just like, shh, shh, shh. I'll give you the details after. That's amazing. I'm gonna go through a quick few emotions. How dare you not tell us? God, I'm so proud of you. Where was the wedding? Why weren't we invited? I'm still so happy for you.
Well, thank you for being happy. I apologize for not telling you sooner. Just like I said, I have not had the means. And honestly, we've just been so caught up in the work that we're doing and traveling. We've only just recently settled in the city, and it's the first time that we've stopped moving for a while. It seems I've finally found my niche within this world, which is wonderful.
That is wonderful.
We didn't have a particularly traditional marriage ceremony. It's more like one of those common law things. Um, and so there was nothing to invite you to.
Well, that's fair, but either you tell us when you have time off and we come up there, or you guys come down here because we're gonna have a party of some sort. We just need to
Well,
pick a location.
and that is the most important thing, of course. Well, absolutely, I will need to consult with her first before I can figure that out, partnership and all that.
The Temerity Ethel.
What was that?
Nova just wrote something in the chat.
Oh.
Um,
Temerity would either be the best father or the worst. There is no in between.
Temerity, roll me an insight check on Sumadre.
Oh God, I'm so bad. 3.
Conversation goes well. I don't know how long you guys talk, but you're able to use this. It costs 5 gold every 1 minute. So depending on how much money you want to spend, you could be on here for hours. So
Hold on, I can't do math. 1 second.
it is an expensive device, but to be able to talk to people wherever you want on the planet and see them is a very useful thing. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I will talk to her for an hour.
Yeah, you guys talk to each other, have a good time. It only costs you 1 day's pay. But yeah, you guys are able to have a good conversation. You're able to catch up with your parents. You learn that Harmony is somewhere in Wishfall, apparently.
I would definitely ask where.
Somewhere, I don't know. Set at a really good view of the skyline. I don't know where that is. I got drawn a picture. Give me a sec, and she goes and finds a letter. She's one of those moms that just keeps everything that her kids ever send her, and Deborah, just
Oh, to your right. Oh, other right. Other right. There you go. Okay. Up.
and she shows you an image. Roll me a history check. It's so fun using all your bad skills today.
And I just rolled a 2. 3.
You don't know where this is.
God. What is wrong with you, dice? What's wrong, baby?
You need a dice jail.
No, I spent way too much money on this dice and not use it. Okay. Oh, yes, I absolutely know where that is. I'll definitely have to pay them a visit.
Good, you should. Y'all should be keeping in contact with each other. I don't know where everybody else is precisely, but I'm glad two of my kids can hang out and have a good time together.
What about all the other munchkins?
The other time, Hold On Charity's just in back, like remouthing the words that he's hearing and being like, "What?" Like,
Say hi to Dad for me.
Oh, Temerity says hi. He just throws his hands up, like.
Well, I do have some work I need to do. I have an apprentice now, so I have to be training with her quite regularly. So I should probably be going.
Need to have her fax it. No, bad. Yeah. She gives you some air kisses. She looks very happy to see you, like little bits of tears. Just happy to hear from you. Yeah, you're able to get have a conversation with your folks. Well, one of your folks. The other one just kind of had to listen to the whole thing.
I'll call Dad next time. Tell him that so he doesn't get upset.
Kind of tell him that. So,
and then she says that, and he's like, "Tell me what?" Oh God.
That's where we close out of that one. Yeah. During the week, or as this day specifically goes on, you guys get contacted by Trine, who specifically said, considering we have you all as new members, and then we also have a really new member, it might be useful for you guys to meet the person in charge. So she asks you guys to come by the collective so she can introduce you guys to Albert.
He's a vampire, right?
A Dampier, but yeah.
Sorry.
It's
I forget.
Potato, tomato, it's fine.
That's the first time you've said potato, tomato that I've agreed with you on that categorization.
I still don't agree with that.
You don't have to.
Right.
No, I do not want to open Lightroom. Calm down, computer.
Yes,
Yeah, this is Light Arc, not Light Room.
Damn.
Bad. But yeah, you guys are asked to all come. Are you all gonna go? Thumbs up if yes. Anything else for a no? Oh, well, that's a no from Temerity.
The double thumbs up is a no? Because if the double thumbs up is a no.
It's not technically a thumbs up. Yeah, cool. You guys minus Connie, because y'all don't know what Connie's up to. Asunar might know what Connie's up to, but that's, Connie's not here for this meeting.
Alright.
But yeah, you guys are brought into the collective.
Wait, Vinny, before we're brought in,
Yes.
if he's a Dampier, do we know what he feeds on?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just curious.
Did you like how just monotone?
Yeah.
Look, if we knew what he feeds on and is something that like we can conceivably get our hands on, we could bring him treats.
What if that was like dreams?
That is harder. That's why I'm asking if we know.
Fair enough.
Because if it's spinal fluid, we might be able to get that.
Oh my lord. From your ex-husband's corpse that you keep in a barrel in the basement.
Absolutely, that is not where he is kept.
Do you keep the body somewhere?
It should be.
No, okay. I've said a couple times that he was buried in someone's backyard.
Okay, I was gonna say we never discussed
I don't know
this,
whose.
but I don't.
he's dead Earthside. He's not up here.
Just me double checking that there's not just a random body part somewhere that someone can be like, well, this is weird. It's a real handy new back scratcher, but I didn't expect to find it here.
The body is in someone's backyard. The spine is in a barrel in the basement.
Good.
It was just very funny to say that that's not where he's being kept.
Yeah. No, you did great.
You did great, boo-boo. Yeah, so you guys are head off to the collective, where at this point you know it like fairly well. Like you guys come here a few times. You guys know Effie, the security guard out front, Folly, the changeling's secretary, who just kind of like waves at you guys as you come in. There's a couple Devati Tabaxis, who are Dallas Darte, who are like the cleaners, who are just around cleaning things. And then you meet Shrine's cohorts, who are basically her equals or equivalents as collectors. And technically, kind of your guys' too. Shrine's like a slight step above you, so they're also a slight step above you guys. You guys are like deputies to like her actual officer role.
There's a snake in my boot.
Yeah.
We're full members, but we're only like so advanced.
Yeah,
We've
you
only
guys are
been here for
2
so
months.
long.
Yeah.
Oh, they're brownies and we're daisies.
Yes.
What?
So you meet Bexhill, who is a Star Goblin again, and Quaileen, the Warforged, who accompany you as you three, those three, and plus you guys, begin heading up towards up the staircase to what you assume must be the like actual office. The fun part is that you guys are led through a couple unique locations that you probably haven't really been to because there's no actual books there. It's like one area off where like there's a pair of lavatories. There's just like a pair of bathrooms. And like there's a water fountain there that just never works, and like they just like walk right through it, and you're like, oh, so that's why no one ever uses it. And you're led through like 2 different secret entranceways to get to what is a proper door, a large wooden door with like golden filigree around it.
Can one of the secret ways be we flush ourselves down a toilet?
No.
Damn it.
You already do that in a different part.
We already do that to get to the underground.
I want to do it again.
Why? Why is that a thing you want to do? But yes, there. Trine gives a knock at the door, and you hear a fairly raspy but like still dignified voice just be like, "Come in." The door is opened, and you are in a study that seems to have a couple other higher like entrance ways, exit ways, like staircases that lead upwards to different areas, but a fairly musty smelling, dimly lit room, no windows, not surprising, with a fireplace going, lots of books all over the place. It looks like this is a very messy room. It looks like it was slightly tidied up for people who are coming. There's definitely like 2 chairs that definitely always sit there, and then like 4 other chairs that don't match, that got dragged in from somewhere else. So these chairs just seem to be surrounding a desk, and you do see a gentleman with like very signature, like pale skin, sharpened fangs, red eyes of Vampire or vampire, long like stringy white hair, slicked back, put into a ponytail, like me on a really bad day. No facial hair, very gaunt, individual. And looks like a person who's perpetually tired. Just like an expression of just always wants to be like 10 feet over to the left in a bed. But currently like seems to like hold the attention and see U.S. guests and says, "Good afternoon." You do?
Hello?
Pleasure to meet you.
Hi there.
Come on in, take a seat.
Hey, what's up?
What's it to yous? How do you spell this guy's name?
Albert, Albrecht.
Okay, thank you.
Does the chair weigh more than 10 pounds?
You could get one of the ones that don't belong in the room, and those would probably be closer.
Yeah, it just slides over, lifts itself, slides over across the room, and he sits on it backwards.
The true asexual stance.
Like your style, good sir. How do you do? Can I offer any drinks? We have water, wine, and I could get a few different things if someone has a specific. Coileen, we have a can of oil for you. I know you say it as a joke, but I'm really never sure if you're serious or not, so I'm going to keep having it present. You hear Coileen give a small chuckle, grabs the oil can, and puts it away. Doesn't take it, doesn't drink from it, but just like puts it to the side.
I'll take a glass of wine, thank you.
Some water.
Looks to Sin and to Temerity.
Do you have any champagne?
You get it?
Agony.
I find it's essential for any celebratory situation, and of course, making your acquaintance is an occasion to celebrate.
I'm gonna have to go for a champagne and a wine because usually I don't drink on the job, so I'm definitely a big fan of this this establishment and your rules here.
Yes, I have a particular brand called Shada No Whatever. It's very new.
Oh, that's my favorite. How did you know? Wow, you really are knowledgeable.
I do try to be.
Wait, what is it called?
Shada No Whatever. It was a joke
Shada No
from like
Whatever.
session 1 or 2 where like we were
Okay.
mixing up the names of drinks and someone said one of them was called, I think it was the box wine or something. It was like called it was like Shada No Whatever or something.
I see, okay.
Yeah, so produces this random alcoholic beverage that only exists in Wishfall because someone decided to be a twat. I don't remember who it was.
When in doubt, Temerity.
It's fair.
I say
Playing
that
for
out
the
of love.
shenanigans.
I say it out of love.
Various pitchers lift as glasses lift, and you see with like just his 2 hands. Sin, this is actually impressive to you because where you can control probably like 5, I think, max things at once, he's controlling like 10. He's controlling the individual pitchers and the glasses, and they're all pouring and going out towards each individual at the same time before they recollect in a nice, neat fashion. There's like 2 things out of line, and then he just and straightens them up. But everyone is given their glass without any muss or fuss, anyone lifting a finger besides him. Bex Hill just stands and like holds it open hands, and you watch a goblet go right between 2 of his fingers. Gives it cheers.
Fancy.
Well, aren't you the magical type? Sorry, I haven't had much champagne in real life. I'm not flowing yet.
not hitting the flow.
I just also love the fact of the matter that Temerity is the person who made us be paid as much as we're paid, and then also is like, meeting you is a source of celebration, because it makes perfect sense. It's just very funny.
You know, I'm a schmooze until I lose. That's another t-shirt.
Schmooze until I lose. That doesn't sound too bad, to be honest.
So, Mr. Bossman, thank you for scratching my back with these drinks here. I was wondering what you we can help scratch your back with. What can we do for you?
I've heard that we've gotten a lot of new recruits recently. Looks fairly pointedly at Trine. The most recent acquisition I guess is a strong word. Most recent addition being you, Sir Sin. I just wanted to see what the hubbub was about. It's a lot of new people that we're not expecting, and just very curious.
Well, if you will allow me to introduce our group, we are known as the Radiant Babes. And I myself, I am Temerity.
There we go.
I am a performer and tend to be the one to do the schmoozing among us, or the speaking, as some like to call it. Um, I tend to find that my methods are really good for unlocking information through individuals who may not be particularly forthcoming with it. Then we have Ethel, who is our well known, of course, you may have heard of her. She is a relatively high ranking member of the Church of Selune. Selune? Is that how one
Selene,
knows?
you
Selene?
flatter me,
Sorry.
Temerity.
She is our most wholesome and kind member, and is definitely the one that we look to when we need true guidance on how to be the most kind and good that we can be. Then we have Asunar, who is our, for lack of a better term, our ass kicker. She is the muscle of our group, and with a background in gladiatorial fighting, she also has some charisma to back up her muscles. Then, of course, we have Kanitae, who unfortunately wasn't able to join us this day, but she is also very astute and very, very incredibly gifted at investigation. I've never seen one wind such theories as she. And then Sin, who is a now a long-standing friend of mine, and always one with an ear open and a nose to the ground and a uncanny ability to get others to feel comfortable around him.
There's a
Little
bit of
nod.
like a nod as you go over, and he does look at each individual as you kind of like point to them and give the dossier of their details of their capabilities. Um, Nods politely. Does give like a bit of a head bow. Almost, it seems almost familiar, like the way he like gives like a head bow to you, Ethel, like he knows you. Um, but gives just like a polite, like small, like nod of hello to everybody. Um, of
Okay.
course, I know the soon-to-be Angel Gem, the Scourge of the Gladiator Rings. I know many of you. Do appreciate a chance to just meet you face to face. I appreciate you taking the time to come up here, and I was just curious how you found the facilities themselves. Have you found them illuminating, helpful on your current case that you've been working on?
Incredibly so, actually. Don't know what's happening with my throat today, but yes, incredibly so. Your both the resources at the collective itself and Trine's help and everything has been very helpful in all of our investigations.
He looks
Yeah,
up.
and your wine cell is pretty good too.
Glad you're enjoying that too. As a restaurateur such as yourself, Sin, I'm glad to hear praises from you about any of my dishes, even one so as common as the drink itself. Is there any specific things I could potentially be helping you out with in the city? Any, wow, why am I not being focused on? Hello, camera. Thank you, camera. I'm sure my bed is very interesting. Thank you, camera. But I figured I would see as the others here, such as Trine, Bexil, have found, is if I can help. Not always readily available. I do like my privacy. It's honestly safer to be far away. But for a brief moment, if I could offer some assistance, I would hear what you need. And thank you for attempting to so far help out Trine and the others with their cases.
Yeah, speaking of cases, it looks like we sort of had a pretty quiet month. So I was just wondering, with you know your resources and your eyes, if you'd seen any other similar cases planet side, or just the seven grave murderer was just a city occurrence a month ago, or if maybe they took a portal and started running amok down planet side.
That's honestly a big fear, not in the, that I would prefer the person to be up here. I just would hate to see someone like that let loose planet side, where at least they were trapped in the city. Eventually, we'd hopefully find them and narrow it down. The world is very large, and it's hard to track someone once they are in the freedom of the world itself. I haven't seen something like this before. Is a unique way of going about it. I've seen some of the files that Trine has presented, but I do allow Trine to just do her own work with her own people. There are a lot of you comparatively. Each of my other collectors only has one or two other assistants, so it's peculiar, to say the least.
Peculiar people can accomplish peculiar tasks.
I'm hoping so. There's no reward for the finding of this individual, but I do expect if this person is found, especially by a member of the collective, it would do nothing but bring a little bit of renown and help, and probably little assurances that nothing would ever happen to the collective. I would like to make sure it sticks around long after I'm withered away at some point.
Well, I do want to ask, with the upcoming holidays, it seems that this individual tends to wait for events in which a large group of people may be gathered in order to witness. Not necessarily the act itself, but the aftermath. And I personally hold the theory that it has something to do with wanting to watch the chaos related to the murder. I do. What are your thoughts on the Aetheri Ball? Do you think that they might strike there next?
It's been a bit of a while since I've cut the rug at the Aetheri Ball, but we've only had the pattern for less than 2 months, but the couple details that you recommend seem to back this up. Was the festival, and then there was the gallery showing. Although there have been, from what I've seen, of the 7 different killings, only 2 of them happened at one of those events. The other ones all seem to be somewhere else.
3. Technically 3 of them happened, because 2 of them happened at the gallery.
And
Itself.
if
2 at the gallery.
2 happened at the gallery and 2.
And then 1 at the festival. Oh, I guess it wasn't quite in public, but it was at the festival.
That's fair. It
But-
was at the festival, technically during downtime of the festival, though. So
I mean, it happened at the Chalice, which is one of the most bumpin' places I know.
Chalice?
Technically
Did-
2?
Did it?
Didn't it? In the bathroom? That's where the
No, that was
No.
where. Sorry. That was where Stampede came, but they weren't dead yet. That
right,
happened.
but then they died
at,
there.
no,
No, that
they
happened at the
didn't.
festival.
They
Oh,
came
okay.
with us
You
to
guys
the
had-
state
yeah,
on their other
you
half.
guys had to go back
Got
to
it.
the festival for that. The Jewel Chalice, the Stampede came into the bathroom while Asunar was in the bathroom. I think maybe someone else was in there too, to talk to specifically Asunar.
Connie was also
But
there.
there was no. I don't think there's been a death at the Jewel Chalice that I
There's
remember.
not been a death at the Jewel Chalice, I don't think.
Okay.
Related to this, anyways.
But
They're
I suppose only 2 have been in public, but they've all been in places where people could find the body later.
There is always a chance. Unfortunately, having more evidence to back up your theory does mean more people dead. So, for now, I would say go on your assumptions to try to cut this thing off before it does happen again. But unfortunately, unless it does happen, or we see the culminations of it beginning to happen, there's no for a fact if they're wrong. But if this person does like attention, the discoveries days are the days to worry about.
Do you think that it would be jumping the gun, so to say, to work with local law enforcement to see if we could do something about perhaps staging an emergency lockdown procedure should something horrible, God forbid, happen at the ball?
I believe there's already talks in general of adding more security, but if you're trying to talk about security specifically for the ball, the event itself, I think that's an excellent suggestion. If you want, I could attempt to write something up.
One thing that would be good to note is I was there and saw one of the individuals get killed. They were dragged away by an individual that was invisible. So we need to think up a way to counteract that somehow.
Certainly, magical methods should be used. I would imagine that there may be something that we could do that could nullify magical effects should the need be, but I'm also just but a novice.
What I can tell, there's a few people capable of that already. I believe your Kanitae has the capability of seeing invisibility according to Trine's notes. Trine, I believe, has that herself too. Do any of you also have the capability of detecting magic or seeing invisibility?
I cannot do that, but should I see a spell being cast, I could dismiss it. But I would have to see it.
Detecting magic is something that I can see, although invisibility is not.
Sounds like a few of you are covered. What we can do,
We're trying to cover this whole area. Do we maybe have some potions or something so we can spread out our eyes a bit? Because visibility was the problem in the past. And we can have all the police and head count we want, but if we can't see, then it won't do us much good.
I can see if we have anything that specifically helps with invisibility. I do know that we do get some sources from the police force and points to Tron and says, Tron, can you get some of the aerosol detectors that help with detecting magic for those who don't have the spell itself? And Tron just like gives a nod. Some of you might remember she had this before, where it's a thing that basically she can spray out and it shows like the residue of remaining spells. It's very similar to detect magic, but it's for people with mundane abilities. So could be helpful for a couple of you guys who aren't like doing the full magical things all the time. So try and writes down a note. Says, yes, I can procure 2 or 3 of them for us, I'm sure.
And you said something about writing some sort of order or something regarding the protection?
I've known most of the prominences for a while. I can try to write a note and either have one of you deliver it, or maybe the prominence of information collection can bring it in and just put in a recommendation, as you said, for specific tighter security. Someone's scratching on a thing?
Who should be given this note? Or who would you plan to give this to?
I have not taken my seat in the prominences for a while. I'd recommend either bringing it straight to the police force and giving it to the chief of police as one option, or as you've had a few run-ins with Azaran as a group, the head prominence would be another wonderful option. His voice carries a lot of weight there. Or if any of you want to bring it in, it is a public forum where anyone can enter. Obviously, the higher your position, the more your word matters to them, but they would still listen to you and heed your advice. I would hope.
out of character, did Kanitae share with us the information that they got about the chief and how sketchy they were, or was that the sheriff?
Someone else found out that information. It was
Ethel did.
Ethel found out the information and sent it to Kanitae during the gallery, right?
Oh, no, other way around. Connie found it out and sent it to Ethel.
Okay, so the information's kind of already mixing, so I'm gonna assume all of you
Yeah.
probably know it by now. Whether or not Sin does is kind of if you guys are like fully including Sin at this point. I'd really prefer if you just did, so we didn't
I
have to deal with
assume so.
any team BS. But yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, we'll say at this point, any information anyone individually has, unless they expressly tell me later that they're reneging it for some reason, I'm gonna assume you all have all knowledge all the time. If there's enough of a gap where you guys can all share it.
I'm just saying we should probably let the collective know what we know about that situation.
Probably. You're right.
Yes, that's again. If you would like me to deliver it, let's narrow down the people you probably would want to deliver the note to. But you could
Yes.
find someone else that you want to give it to. You could either give it to the prominence of security, or you could go straight again to the head prominence. Or if you know someone else who is a prominence. I will say, Temerity, you do know that technically Sabonet is the head prominence of brothel workers, basically, of like the specifically your trade.
Entertainers
Well,
of a specific variety.
it's definitely a separate thing than entertaining to entertainers, because technically Aster is the the prominence of entertainers.
Oh, he is?
I hate it.
Ew. Okay. All right. Mhm.
Is that an Ethel ew, or is that a Kareen ew?
That's a Korean ew. Ethel doesn't care. And also, now's not the time to display that anyway.
But yeah, you are giving a note written and signed by Albert to bring to whoever you guys think this should go to. You guys have plenty of options. You guys actually know way more prominences than you think you do. So yeah, you guys can decide who you want to bring it to. Yeah, I mean, otherwise it can be just pleasant conversation you guys are having. If you have specific questions or asks of him, you guys are going to get two items of detector aerosol, which I will send to the group chat.
Oh, I did have a question. Let me see if I can remember it.
Sure.
I believe in you. Remember the thing. You got this.
I don't think I'm gonna remember. Darn it.
You can backtrack if you remember it in a little bit.
Okay.
If we move totally on to a different day, we'll probably say no, but...
Is the note sealed?
Yeah. Sealed, wax stamped, with his emblem, all that stuff.
It's actually really good for us. We should not unseal that.
Signed, sealed, not delivered.
The deliver part is our job.
Yeah. I would want, I guess. I mean, if anyone else has anything to say to Albert, let's do that first. More Shadden or whatever. Nobody else has anything to say?
Not that I remember.
I love Anders just sitting there with the smirk.
It's my default pose.
I
feel
see.
like Sin probably has to try to like prove himself to this guy in some way.
You don't think I
So I
vouched for
feel
you
like-
well enough?
I think arcane tricksters just always sit with a slight smirk on their face. That's just their neutral expression.
That's fair.
Chaotic arcane trickster.
Trickster
I
is in the name.
remembered the thing, by the way.
Cool.
Oh, yay.
Sin, do you have a thing that you're gonna do?
Not of importance. What impresses you, big guy? What do you look for?
I love
What's
this.
going above and beyond the call of duty?
I look for the chutzpah.
Oh, chutzpah. I do love the setup for this specific conversation. Well, in general, we
Stop
are normally just here for collecting information.
So the more info I get for you, the better.
It definitely never hurts. It helps everybody in the city because most of it is fully accessible for everyone. The parts that are not are usually very helpful for those who are either in charge or protecting other people. So anything you can gather is always very helpful. Short of that, if you are also capable of protecting any of my collectors, points to Trine, then Vexel, and Coileen, I would very much appreciate it. I do care about my employees, and currently you are what we would call life insurance for them as well.
I thought he was going to call us employees, and I was like, we care about you too.
Life insurance is also a good spot to be in, to be fair. He's paying for us like we're life insurance, that's for sure.
Well, hopefully we will continue to prove our usefulness.
Did Sin have anything additional to say to that? Or like a counterpoint that he wished to bestow?
Yeah, we'll let it ride.
Okay. Ethel, you had a thing you remembered. Do you still remember?
Yeah, I do. I was writing it down so that I'd keep it in my head this time. So, we have been discussing a lot of things that you can do for us, and that is very much appreciated. I'd like to know if there's anything specifically, not just the broad term of gathering knowledge, but specifically that we can do for you regarding this case or others.
Splendid idea. What can we do for you?
Yeah, my own personal needs are met. I would like the gathering information. I would like to not get stabbed 7 times and killed. That would not be a way I would wish to go. So the sooner this is solved, the more likelihood that I get to live just a little bit longer. So honestly, solving the mission is probably the biggest thing. I would say if there are parts of the city that maybe you haven't explored, maybe touch upon them. Getting new insights from new eyes on old locations can lead to some revealing things sometimes. I don't know everyone's particular upbringing, either topside or underground, but it's honestly not my purview. You can be and explore wherever you want. I just recommend staying as safe as you can because there are some nefarious people out there, not including serial killers. We have some gang members who are not fond of everyone topside. Many don't care. Some do.
Yeah, we know.
Thank you for your advice. And thank you for the tasks.
Of course. There is a discussion about payment that we need to make. And as he waves a hand, you watch as this like little statuette of like an ape, like a monkey, walks forward with satchels, little satchels, and places them down in front of you guys. It's like a foot, 2 feet tall, but it carries each of these little satchels and places one in front of each of you. Now, we said 300 per day of work. That was when there was 5 of you. Looks at Trine. There's now 6. You will be reduced to 250 gold per day of work. Hoping this still meets satisfactory payment.
Hold on. Gears. Champagne.
Does the champagne make the math brain work faster?
No, it's respectful to wait until I'm done drinking, number one, which gives me more time to think, and number two, it greases my talking gears a
Ah,
bit. While I understand the logic behind your new offer, I would say, um, do you consider that, um, for instance, a corporation who hires a new worker um, lowers their minimum wage as a result of hiring new help? Isn't the additional help worth the additional payment? Sin here is fabulous, and we have done nothing but the best of our abilities for you up until now, and I don't understand the intention behind paying us less. It almost seems as though up until now we've been providing our 300% effort, one would say, and now you are only paying us for 250% effort?
That to be fair, this guy hasn't really met me. He doesn't know too much about me, which no disrespect. I'm sure you know about as much of me as you could know, but I hang out a lot in places you don't. So trusting me with a full paycheck right off the bat, I totally understand your hesitation. So I don't want to take away any of the gold from any of these fabulous party members. So why don't they keep their full shares? I'll prove myself to you, and then after that, then we can talk about what the full payment structure looks like. I'm living comfortably on my own, and I understand I need to make sure I take care of you first.
no, no. I appreciate your offer and your opinions, Temerity, on specifically how payments should be shared. Sin, I would pay all my workers in a specific task force equally. You deserve the same share as anyone else does, even if you are new, because I'm sure your skills are very, very valuable. I don't doubt that at all. Temerity, it is not so much that that I expect you to decrease your efforts, and nor am I saying that your capabilities were low or high from before. I will say, over the month and a half, the mystery has not seemed to have been solved yet, so your argument for 300% is not a great one if you haven't completed a task. What I will say is that I had enough money to pay 5 people 300 gold every day that they worked, and to not make my payments go higher for a task that has not yet been complete. Everyone is getting a reduced pay, so that way everyone can continue to live comfortably, and hopefully, if one of these tasks is completed, if the mystery is found, if a killer is found, if more clues are brought forward, we can talk about payment advances, higher wages. But considering most people live off of maybe 10 to 20 gold a day, I think that this is definitely overboard, and I don't mind paying it for skilled employees as long as they're delivering. Do you feel you've delivered as much as you possibly could have so far, Temerity?
You said fast. uh, While I understand your apprehension with the lack of progress in our, or perceived lack of progress in our investigation, I assure you that each of us have been diving deep into our particular purviews and seeking out information as best we can. I I will understand and accept your decision in this moment, considering that it doesn't seem that there have been any further actions by the killer, which would vouch for a lesser need for compensating the ones searching for him or her or them.
If I may, Temerity.
Yeah.
Um, I'm. If I understand correctly, this is a budgeting issue. Yes, we have more members, and so it tracks that for a budget that you were not expecting and therefore have to compensate for, the amount that you've set aside is the same despite the amount of members that we have in our group. Yes? Because 300 for 5 people and 300 for and 250 for 6 people is the same number in the end budget wise. So it stands to reason that the budget you have set aside for us as a group is only so much a day, and that is why the payment adjustment has happened. Am I correct in that understanding?
You are.
Wonderful. In which case, I feel like it should be perfectly reasonable, and she's gonna glance at Temerity and at Sin and at the others too, so that Temerity and Sin aren't only strictly called out. And she's just gonna say, I think it would be perfectly reasonable for us to accept 250, on at least until a further time when we are successful, or the stakes get higher. And risks to ourselves and our families become higher, I should say. Is that a fair assumption?
It's eloquently put, just as eloquently as Temerity's arguments have been, and Sin's willing to sacrifice have been. And I appreciate all of your perspectives, I really do. But what little bit of business that this collective is, I do have to treat it as a business. The most of it I do not. Most of it I do not. It is public for the people. But we are working off of government funds, and as unlimited as they seem sometimes, they are limited individually.
I want to look at Trine. What does she look like right now?
Roll an insight check. I'll let you have advantage. Mainly because you keep rolling dog shit. But that's...
I appreciate you. Well, that was pretty good. 18.
She did not look like she knew this was happening. She looks red-faced and a little embarrassed. She's just kind of like looking down like at the ground at the moment. And she's sweating it out a little bit. She didn't know that this was going to apparently be part of the conversation.
Poor thing. It's okay, it's a budgeting constraint.
Any comments from Asunar?
She's literally just looking like the meme of the lady with like the math flying around her head.
Butterfly in the sky.
Thank you for giving me the gift to put on the notes.
You're welcome. That was all according to Keikaku. Author's note. Keikaku means plan. Translator's note, not author's note.
God damn it. Okay, cool. Is there any final discussions anyone wishes to have with Albert?
No, Temerity's jaw's set. He's done.
Sin, Ethel, Una.
Just a couple bottles for the road. I'd hate to leave you with some empty bottles, like half-open bottles for the next guys, you know?
I love him.
Thank
you for bringing chaos to this group again. Make chaos great again.
Don't ever.
No.
Please use
We're
that
not.
slogan.
We're trying to make it better, all right?
Make America gay again is about the only one that I'll stand.
Yeah.
You watch him smile as you say that, and the hand pulls. There's like 4 different bottles, a couple like a wine, a champagne, one like of a hard alcohol. All of them except the hard alcohol go towards you. Whatever that one is, he seems to like it, or doesn't want to give it up. So, but you get 3 bottles.
What does it look like? What's it called? What's it called? Hold on, I need to know this.
Avalian Scotch.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Forgot I had the names of some cities, so it's actually I can do that. I can just make them from another random goddamn city. Yeah.
It's like how Star Trek does it. You just put the city name in front of the noun.
Exactly. Alright, so you guys get a few bottles. You guys leave the collective, or at least can walk downstairs out of the secret hidey holes, and are in the public area proper. Is there any further conversation you guys as a group want to have?
I believe that upon leaving and getting out of earshot of the collective, Temerity turns on Ethel. I okay.
Yes, darling.
How can I say this in a respectful manner?
You don't have to be respectful. I'm ready.
I understand that I do not have to be the one to speak for everyone, and I do not want to be the one to speak for everyone at all times. However, that was incredibly embarrassing. It made us look like we're not on the same page.
I don't think it was that bad. First of all, I think you argued very poignantly. I think truly that was never going to change, and I wanted to make it at least appear that we were willing to work with him, even though we may have a difference of opinion. With him on what is an appropriate pay grade. Also, I truly do believe it's a budgeting issue. He has 1,500 gold a day, which is quite a lot, set aside for us as a group. And you can't just pull 300 more out of the ether.
I'd like
Well-
to think that I'm going to make your lives at least 1/6 easier going forward until we get things upgraded for ourselves. So
I would hope
wanna
so.
go knock
Sin,
some
don't-
skulls
please.
in the snare. Go take care of the undertow a little bit, rough them up, see what they know. I'm happy to help.
Sin, please don't take my frustration as frustration with you. I absolutely agree that you deserve the entire pay that I had argued for initially. But
You do, truly.
I was it's just frustrating because I was in the middle of accepting his offer and my toes hurt.
That's fantastic.
Your feet hurt. Do you need to be carried?
What's everybody's
My toes hurt from being stepped on.
Somebody stepped on your feet? That's so rude.
What's everybody's passive perception?
Freaking 18.
Oh, why did I just roll? It's
I
not
almost
worth-
did too.
it's-
It's okay.
My passive perception is not worth mentioning.
17.
Dang!
You three watch as check that. Sure. You three watch as Trine just in like an open pocket of Temerity's just drops in 5 platinum into her pocket, and then you just watch as Trine just starts walking away.
I know, absolute.
You don't
Wait,
see it.
who saw that? I didn't see. Fuck!
Everyone but you.
No!
You didn't see it.
Sin is just going to
That's wrong.
use his delusion psychic ability to to say thank you. Put on the down low.
She like stops for a sec when you do that, and just like gives a nod. She looks red faced and real embarrassed. Just walks
Fine,
away.
where are you going?
I'm gonna roll and see if she even responds. Nope. She just keeps walking.
Excuse me, I needed to talk to you as well, miss.
I'll
Why
be
is
in
everyone being so rude today?
my room, and she just keeps walking away. That sounded so 5-year-old. Like, I'm gonna be in my room.
I hate you! And then she goes into her room and the door closes and she just silent screams like like
Gotta
how
s-
kids do.
Gotta scream into the pillow.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for Trine in this situation. but I need to resolve the thing with Temerity before I
Nope.
go fix that.
100%. That was just the thing that happened, like, during all that. So, yeah, you guys can keep having your argument.
Temerity, I can offer you an ice pack if you would like, but I don't want you to seem like I'm not grateful. I think you've worked a miracle in there before to get us as much as we're being paid. I didn't want to push our luck with that miracle.
Well, I accept your compliment. And I don't know if there was an apology in there, but I accept it if there was.
There kind of wasn't. It was implied, but not there.
I have low insight, so you can just capitalize off that if you'd like. It's all right. It's all right. We'll figure it out. There's be plenty more opportunities. It just didn't seem like my particular set of skills, my very particular set of skills, appealed to this specific person. Anyway,
So
It probably
I
would
have
have been.
a question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So these murders, they happen public areas, places people have repeated access to. Do, do you think someone's putting like a trap down? Is it worth investigating like the stage area ahead of time before this weekend to get a lay of the land?
oh, absolutely.
It would definitely be worth investigating. I don't think there have been physical traps necessarily, because I feel like someone looked them, if that were the case. But I could be wrong.
So far, I don't believe
Magical
you guys have been running into any of any sort. You don't know with Ryulin
Right.
or Shiavon, because you guys had no idea about those.
Right.
Or Nell. But the ones
But
that
he
you've
was
been
asking.
there for, you know.
Yeah, he was definitely asking if the actual murders were caused by physical trap, and like as far as we've seen, no, we don't think
Oh, I meant
so.
like magic
The
trap,
only
just
one
because the thing, the artist displays, that was like a whole bunch of magical effects happening at once. And I know there's like magical traps that can be triggered that can, cause things. I don't know if it's worth checking out and even just figuring out where we're going to be stationed during this.
It's definitely worth looking at.
the two murders that have been seen was Temerity saw the first one that was actually seen to one of the Stampede members, and then Asunar was there for Lonnie. So you guys
Yes.
have the knowledge from those events, but there wasn't any specific traps. Although Asunar, you did see the things come to life.
And we did see
Evolve.
presences of something, like a person of some sort, there in at least 2 cases. But that does not mean necessarily that there's not also traps involved. Like they can both be in tandem. Um, I think, Sin, that's a fantastic idea, and we should absolutely scout that out. I would like to go talk to Trine first and just make sure she's all right,
Would
and
you
then
mind letting
go
me
ahead
take this one?
if you would like to, of course.
Thank you. The battle of the refined bitches. Whoa! Whoa! We got a bunch
Whoa,
of subs!
Yo.
dude!
Wow, thank you!
Ooh.
Oh, thank you guys.
Oh.
We always appreciate it whenever someone gives us some subs. Thank you.
That's a lot of subs!
That is 5 subs. Thank you all. And
That's wild. Thanks.
That was great.
Thank you.
Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for giving these nerds who are watching some more reasons to watch. I super appreciate that. Have fun with all your new emote access. I don't know how many you get, but there's some there. Thank you guys.
We got another one.
Aw. Thank y'all. I love it when people are being nice and generous. I mean, it's nice it's happening here, but it's nice in general when people are being nice and generous. Thank you guys. Super appreciate that. Yes.
If you do sub gifts or bits right now, we can get more Twitch emojis unlocked. If we
Because
get
hype
hype
trains.
If we get a hype train. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are more than welcome to do that, we super appreciate it if you do. No pressure, though. We're pretty no pressure here when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely no pressure.
Yeah, so are you guys both going, or is it mainly Temerity going to go do the...
Oh, it's
the
just
thing?
Temerity.
Okay.
Ethel would have completely stepped back from that and let Temerity go.
Temerity's go. Thank you, Random
Hi,
Mantra
Tay!
Loco Mania 22.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I wanted to because I'm like, how much will that get us? Apparently.
Apparently, the rest of the way. Thank you, Nova.
For
Appreciate
level
you.
1.
Well, look at all these.
Hell yeah. We'll take it. But yeah, Temerity, you're able to go. You guys were all offered a room here as an option, so you Trine had to probably show you where the rooms were, so you know your way to Trine's room. You're able to go in, not hard. I mean, are you gonna knock, or are you just gonna walk right in? What's Temerity's go-to with that?
Oh,
Is
knock.
anyone else going, or is it kind of just...
I work in a club. I'm bedroom etiquette.
Cool.
Yeah, I think Temerity's got this one.
Cool. Temerity, sure, yeah, you knock. There is a sigh and a come in.
I flourish through the doorway. I'd like to think that Temerity kind of thaumaturgy some drama anytime he goes through a doorway.
Yeah, it's basically like you have the Cape of Billowing, but it's just you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, Trine is just like sitting on her bed. Her room is decently sized, and there are like knickknacks. She seems like a knickknack person. Like you look around, the coyote statue that she got is like right above like a bed on like a windowsill, and there's like a bunch of other little like animal type things up there. But yeah, she like there's like some extra like what you assume trick arrows or something that are like loaded onto the wall that she probably hasn't brought out or used at all yet. But it's a pretty clean setup, but it's full of her personality for sure. But she's just on the bed, and she's kind of just like seems to be sketching on a page. And
Is it day or night day?
it's day.
Okay. And
She,
she's weird at night, right?
weirder, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hype.
Thanks for the hype train, Winter Persephone.
It's my me.
Is what?
That's my partner.
Aw. Thank you. I won't say your real name just because I don't know how comfortable we are with that sharing, but thank you anyways.
Well, just call them Winter. That's what we do in the others stream.
Appreciate it. Looks up at you, is like, oh. Hi, Temerity.
Not expecting me.
No, Bex usually likes to harass me after our group meetings. It's friendly harassment. I'm sorry about the whole money thing. I didn't know that
Stop.
was a thing.
Please stop. Of course. I mean, just no offense, but judging by the look on your face, you clearly did not know that that was going to happen, and that is totally fine. Honestly, I am amazed that we were able to get what we did for the time that we did, and I do appreciate you for that, and I'm sure that it required you to stick your neck out to some degree. I also want to apologize for us not producing the amount of information that your boss is looking for. I'm sure that that's put you in some sort of awkward positions, and I do apologize for that.
Hasn't been... I know we're trying. There's just a lot going on. But no, I appreciate that, and I'm sorry again. Just sorry about all of that. I thought it was just him wanting to meet you guys, which apparently was at least part of it. But
Do I believe her
which part?
that she didn't know? I feel like I do, but I just want to double check.
Roll another insight check.
Oh, 18!
Yeah, she's being, as far as you can tell, with an 18, which is what I'd call pretty dang good. She doesn't seem to be lying. She, like, this conversation still has her flustered and annoyed. Not at you, just like, it's an annoying situation to be like, hey, I got my friend a job. Hey, I got another friend a job. Hey, I got another friend, and now they're all getting pay cuts. It's not.
No, I totally get that.
Not a great
Literally
feeling.
been in that situation before too.
Yeah, so she.
Yep, this hits a little close to home.
Yes. So she looks again not uncomfy with you. She just like feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not a situation she wanted to be in or assumed she would be in.
Well, do you mind if I sit down?
Oh, my space is yours. Wherever you want.
What are my seating options?
The bed. There is a chair by the desk. There is also a couch and love seat set up.
Okay, I'll pull the desk chair out and sit cross-legged in it.
Okay.
And I'll say, I really don't want you to worry about it. It's none of us have even thought to blame you on this. It's honestly like we've all been in corporate situations and understand the pay cut area, which again, I just fall back on thank you so much for vouching for us in the way that you did that got us the amount that we had. And honestly, until from this point on, it is clearly all on us to make sure that we're producing producing information and continuing to advance the investigation in a way that is reasonable to be paid the amount that we have been. So please do not blame yourself. Do not be upset if you upset about us potentially being upset with you, because we are not.
Okay. Video was like said about. Yes, got you. Okay. Just no, I know you guys are good. I've seen some of the stuff we've done. It's just been
Slow.
I don't get how it's slow, but there's murders.
Yeah. Yes.
I know we're gonna figure it out. We'll get you back up to 300. We'll get you guys to 400. I'm sure we'll get there.
And we're certainly living very happily. I am very happy, and I appreciate you for what you've done.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to. I mean, in general with this, but like you seem to love your job and everything going on there too. So it's nice that you seem to found your niche and are thriving in it.
I'm very excited about it. Interesting that you bring that up. I did want to ask you a little bit. I've been hearing mutterings. You're spending a lot of time in my club.
Oh my god, we got some sloth emojis.
What?
I think.
And a pug emoji.
I'm gonna.
Awesome. I'm going to catch up on the notes while you do that.
We're gonna keep on with the scene. What are the three of you guys doing as Temerity goes off and this starts happening?
Minor illusion, a brown paper bag over the bottle that we got from the collective, so we can sort of casually day drink and pass it amongst ourselves as we go. Or at least offers. I don't know if people are feeling that vibe or not. That's all you want to drink?
Hydrate.
Apparently.
Sure, sorry, I forgot I was muted.
There we go. Now we just got to keep our eyes out for some good vantage points. We can keep an eye out on the celebrations.
Got a hippo emoji. Okay then. Cool. Back to the conversation at hand. She's like, yeah, I've been there once, twice a 10-day, I think. Maybe more. I don't know. As you've seen, I have trouble keeping track of my suns and moon stuff. Sometimes.
Suns and moon stuff.
The sun days, sun nights, moon days, moon nights, it's...
Well, yes, I understand that, but what stuff?
It's just not 100%. Right now, I remember a lot of things that go on during the day. I remember most of the stuff that happens at night, too. I don't always remember all of it, so there are potentially times I visited at night, but I don't remember, but I don't... For the most part, I'm usually here, like I'm good, so... As far as I can remember, it's been about 2 times a 10-day.
For as long as you can remember, it's been that way.
Yeah. Oh wait, you're asking about her thing or visiting
Her
the...
thing.
Okay. She's like, yeah, it's been a thing for a long time.
And you don't remember when or how it started? I'm sorry if I'm being too personal. I'm just genuinely curious. We've been working together for so long now. It feels.
Something I got born into. I had a... Something happened when I was young, and it left this thing where sun and the moon just affect me differently. Doesn't have to be there, it just has to be there, and she just like gestures to the sky.
Mm. And have you always just sort of lost track of time during those periods?
When the moon is out, I sometimes do. Usually it's if I'm like staring at the moon and just going, or if I'm just still too long. It's nice to be doing something. If I'm doing something, it's a lot easier.
Mm. Is it stressful for you?
No, just life, you know? Like you deal with what you gotta deal with, and it's just the thing I've been dealing with for so long. I just don't... No one's ever come up to me and been like, hey, you robbed my house or like killed my uncle, so as far as I know, I've been doing okay.
And nobody else has ever really like asked you about this? I'm a pretty traveled individual, and I can't say I've really met anyone who exhibits those sorts of consistent symptoms other than like perhaps, I don't know, some sort of magically influenced or perhaps a lichen.
That'd be weird. It never changed, I think. She's a little, uh, I don't think it's ever happened.
You don't smell like wet dog.
She doesn't, if that helps. But yeah, she's like, yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I had my party back on the surface that I traveled with quite a bit, and they knew about it. Albert knows about it, and Bexel.
What was your party called on the surface?
We didn't really have a name. A couple. We made a joke sometimes that we were the Lost Friends, but that was just a joke that we had. Not a very good inside joke, but it made sense to us. So.
Mm-hmm. And you say Albert knows about this?
Yeah, he knows Coraline and Bexhill know because they've talked to me and run into me. I don't know if they know like details, but they've talked to me during both times, so I'm assuming they're aware.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, can you spell those two names?
It's in the notes, but Bexhill is Bexhill, and Coileen is Coil added to like Carleen.
Okay, thank you. Inter- just branching off of what I said before, what I happen to notice that you have a bit of an affinity for these, and I pull out the hold on the this here the tarnished pewter coyote statue with limbs that bend anatomically.
So that was actually a thing that she bought before you. I asked you if it was
Oh,
okay
she
for her
bought.
to buy that before you.
Okay. So I'll point at it then
Yes,
on
that's
her
the thing.
shelf.
Yeah, that's up on the shelf. Just yeah. She makes her little coyote appear, and this is Song, and gives him a little scratch.
Song?
Song. That's what she calls her coyote.
That's my mother's name.
That's a weird coincidence.
Isn't it?
It's
I was
great.
just talking to her earlier, actually, for the first time in several months.
Planet side or up here?
I called.
Oh, so several months, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Hopefully she's doing good. Hopefully she's not near any landslides.
Oh, she seemed fine. Her and father were just reading. So I can't imagine anything stressful was going on around them.
Sounds as comfortable as you can get. A good book and relaxing with the person you want to be with is great.
But you let me know if you have any particular interactions with anyone of the name of Charity, Promise, Whimsy, Harmony, or Mayhem.
Mayhem. Sorry.
That's my brother.
Those are some fun names. I don't have any other familiars, or else I would tell you that their names are also those, just to fuck with you. But
Oh, I like you.
I hear I'm fun sometimes.
I could vouch for that. I would love to see more of your fun side. Speaking of liking things, I can't help but notice that you seem to be regularly meeting with one of my close friends. Bree?
Oh. Uh, Insight check.
On me?
No, you.
Or
Roll,
me on
you
her?
can roll one on her.
Okay. Inside check! Alright, 13.
She goes like a little red faced against like, yeah, Bree's fun.
Fun like a puzzle? Or fun like something more long term?
Like a puzzle. Sorry, it was just the choice of like a puzzle.
Like a game of Monopoly?
Yes, Monopoly, the great game of Wishfall. Um, uh, just learning some things about her. She's interesting.
Forgive me for taking interest. I do understand that the nature of my work is rather sensitive, but do understand that I am just another worker under the umbrella of HIPAA. I can't talk about it outside of the club. But what is your relationship like?
Oh, it's not like that.
Like
She
what?
I don't know. I actually don't know what way we're referring to, so I guess that is kind of vague. We're not a thing. I'm learning some things from her.
Oh, she teaching you like how to dance, sing?
Uh,
I saw you at the audition.
Oh, yeah, that was really fun, actually. Also, I can't believe Bucky was the person to win. Anyways,
She's prolific. Definitely keep an eye out for her in the upcoming months. When she begins to perform, oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, you were saying.
No, she's just teaching me some things that not necessarily I would know offhand. Boy.
You're being extremely vague, dear.
I know.
Can I, like, get a vibe for what she's trying to say? Are we talking about, like, how to talk to people? How to do
Kissing.
a specific skill? Kissing practice, playing doctor? Are we doing the schmiggity schmabba?
Depending
What's going on?
How much are you pressuring her into talking, I guess, is how we're gonna go about it. There's a good chance she's gonna...
I just want to make sure nothing fucking weird's going on. Because she's kind of fucking weird.
No, that's fair.
Did Bree and Kanitae end things yet?
Kanitae's avoiding Bree.
Okay.
So it's not... There's a couple reasons I'm there, and I don't know which one's a good one to tell you. I'm not sure I want to tell you both. One of them's gonna make no sense to you, the other one, I don't know how that's going to work.
Now you're just making me more curious. I'm sorry. Please understand that I take a particularly steadfast position on the privacy of my and our clients. I just...
I'm learning things about Bree, and Bree's also teaching me things that people at the Jewel Chalice happen to be significantly talented in.
Alright, out of character. Did anyone fucking get that? Like, I'm lost.
I don't know either.
No, yeah, you can roll a persuasion check. Let's put it down to persuasion check to see if she tells you.
It's altruism. It's completely confidential altruism.
I'm gonna put this against a wisdom saving throw, which is not incredibly high for her.
Do I have to decide if I use a luck point before or after I see the number I rolled?
You can wait until after.
Okay. Persuasion?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, God.
19?
She rolled really bad.
Yes! Give it to me.
I want to know if my suspicions are correct because I have some thoughts.
What are your suspicions, Riz? Because I'm super happy to assume. I'm pretty sure you're wrong, but I super want to see where this is going.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm wrong too, but I have questions. Like, she said specifically that she's learning things that people that Jewel Chalice are proficient at. It makes me wonder how far her other relationships have gone, and if she's using it as practice.
Nope, you're off.
Okay. I thought so, but I wanted to ask the question.
She just covers her eyes and her face, and she just kind of, like, blurts out some stuff, so she's just like, okay, fine, I'm kind of learning what Bree likes, because I know there are some things that Kanitae liked from Bree, and once Kanitae was asking me about my relationship with my boyfriend, and we talked, like, pretty casually about polyamory, and I was just kind of curious about what things Kanitae liked, but I figured I would just ask Bree, since technically that seems like open fair ground, considering it's the Jewel Chalice, and now I'm gonna go die. And she just turns over.
Can we break because I need to pee. Number one, and scream.
A, that's better.
It was a
And
request.
B, it's not practice.
It was a request, so we are going to go to break. We will be back in a few minutes to finish up session here.
The party is lightly interrogated, sees Leon tied up and exhausted. He was in magic people cuffs, with all the fingers. It was fun. We are accepted into the tribe, given jobs and a place to stay for the night, and instructed to report back in the morning for more stuff. Scaldy runs into her brother, shoots him in the foot.
A classic.
They do a little
classic
talking.
Scaldy.
Yeah.
That moment did become a defining moment for Scaldy as a personality trait.
I do love I remember so clearly, it was you see your brother there, and then there's just this pause, and you had to be like, what do you do? And then the pause lingered, and then it was, shoot him in the foot. Just total throwaway.
I was thinking of which was the least damaging to shoot.
First of all, the Ivory Queen has some ways to get us out of the city. From here, that might be easier to get to than the greenhouse, especially considering how far the greenhouse is from us, and the fact that we neglected to remember that the city sells watermelon that lets you see through invisibility and disguise self. So...
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, there's magical fruit. It's kind of normal now, so I kind of forgot to think about it. But there's magic fruit that makes you do all wonder of things. It's really, really fun. But one of those is see basically into the ethereal plane.
I can't fucking wait to leave this place. What the fuck is this fucking hellscape?
But it's so
Where
interesting.
you've got weird ass magic fruit.
Round. How are we feeling, guys?
I am not feeling good.
Just fucking peachy.
Cool.
Did I take any damage from that real quick?
Oh, you took 14 damage. Thank you for reminding me.
So happy to help.
Never remind him.
Hey, did we have homework last night?
I'm not drowning. I am sleeping so good.
That was kind of the energy that got tossed out.
My grandfather loves boxed wine, so maybe this is actually a good thing.
What's up, Asunar?
Something that is at least older than 15 years.
In a box? Do boxes live that long?
No, absolutely not.
I just enjoy the phrase, these boxes live that long.
This conversation.
Emphasis on live.
This is how I die, folks. Goodbye. As halflings, we can run through large creatures. I'm going to run between its legs and try to get his attention over here and say, hey, you're going to stop that now.
Its head does turn towards you, and the eyes light up again to blast, but as you come around and confront it in that way, there is a delay in the moment, and it gives Ave a moment to act before that fires off.
Sid gets a sending message and just hears in their mind.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Here's, Mama, I haven't failed you yet. Much improved. Where the hell have you been? Miss you. Fuck him up.
I will say you don't get that message.
What?
What?
You're not playing that character right now. You don't know what's going on. Sid, you have a nice daydream about a message from Maybe.
Oof.
Minnie. Ow.
Vincent, the fuck? Because I'm not sure I understand.
Is she acting good because she thinks acting good is going to keep everybody together, or is she just acting good because she got it all out of her system the night before?
She got most of it out of her system, so she's mellowed out.
Okay, that's all I was asking. Mellowette? Like just a little mellow? A small mellow?
She's
You
Mel.
had to see that coming. I'm hanging up now.
Hi, Mel.
Probably the least liked. Things that smelled awful, ratty mud off the street, and Onolove explained it as if you give even the worst thing a chance to be better, there's a good chance it might happen.
5e monk class things just by typing in crazy gun monk in Google.
That sounds
surprising.
That sounds super correct. Yeah, Kensai
Yeah,
monks with guns are really
Technically speaking, thanks to Tasha's, gun monk can officially be a thing.
It is. I made a bunch. It was great.
my God.
It was really fun.
I hate this.
Oh, they were great.
Next to Arc, Crazy Gun Monks. Party
Yes.
name.
Yeah, sure. I'll recommend that to the Dark Arc people. Alright. Do you guys want to go get tattoos?
Fuck this.
Yes, tattoos. And
I would
then
like a
maybe
tattoo, Papa.
Stab me, Daddy.
You didn't like that, Connie? I mean, Mel.
I got worse. It got worse when
When Nova talked?
Yes.
Yeah, I do that. I'm sorry.
I mean, there's people. But there's not like a lot of people, but people.
Oh, I didn't know. I assumed we were the only 4 in the shop, so that's my mistake.
Well, I mean, his shop is kind of like an outdoor stall. Like, again, he's literally like that guy from the opening from Aladdin, where it's like it's
Mel, the face.
My
I want
mistake.
that. I want that face as our new group chat.
Please no. Please no.
It's happening.
Seriously, me. For fuck's sake.
You get purple.
What?
What? Don't worry about it.
Fair.
Is the pale visage?
Shh, go read it.
Looked pretty wild. I liked it. I think there's a reason that he made it so we couldn't buy it even with our combined wealth.
Is it alright? Me?
Hmm?
Is it alright if I read it out loud, the description?
Hell yeah.
Okay. With a spiderweb crack on the center forehead gilded with star metal, this pure white mask is made of a singular white drag. Vincent!
Biddy?
Biddy! A singular white dragon scale. Peering through the mask, you see the world in odd hues and shades. You gain +2 to your AC and intimidation skill when attuned.
Dude! The crying.
Smoke inhalation.
Smoke inhalation. And she
That's amazing. Here, and we're like, no, they just floated away and got. It wasn't. Unless she has some crazy magic, like people like are willing to testify, but you're probably gonna go to the police to just like have to explain some stuff. As this is going on, you all feel for the first time on Wishfall an earthquake. Didn't we? I just talked to you guys.
Yes, darling, catch up.
And maybe you guys are able to stealth around in the zoo. The animals are helping you. They don't know what you're doing, but they like go in front of you when the time is right.
Help!
Missy is very noticeable. I would say Missy probably does not help. But
End scene. Okay. Alright, we're back into it. That information was digested at warp speed. Yeah, so Trine just had the schoolgirl reaction of just turning over and away from you, pretending all things don't exist for a couple moments. So, Temerity, however you'd like to continue or finish up this conversation, you let me know.
God, I'm like trying to figure out if I need to like give her a secret in return to help. So we got dirt on each other. Like that kind of like girl's promise.
It's the very old school.
Hmm.
You give me dirt, I give you dirt. We're friends now.
Yeah. That is incredible. I am so happy for you. Kanitae is a wonderful woman, and I would fully support you pursuing her. Not that you need my support or my blessing or anything like that, but I think that's wonderful. I'm clearly a believer in love, and support it wherever I can find it. And you're clearly respectful. Why don't you just approach her?
Because I've known all of you 2 months, and I figure I should learn some things about her.
Okay, let me rephrase my question. Why don't you spend some time with her?
I was going to try to spend time with all of you guys a little more than just like teaching you guys that one cantrip and stuff. But all of you guys had very busy 10 days over the last month, so I just kind of did my own thing too. So
Can I be candid?
Sure.
It sounds like an excuse.
Her face gets like serious and set with like a little bit of annoyance when you say it. It's like, I was just trying to respect people having their own time. People died. It was a fucking crazy month.
Oh, I'm not saying that that's not the case at all, and I'm definitely aware that Kanitae seems to be one of the more concerned of our group about the exact details of each of the occurrences. But if I'll stop myself. You didn't ask for my advice or my opinion, so I'll withhold it. I apologize for intervening on your personal information.
You're fine. Trust me, if I feel like I'm not learning enough from Bree, you're my next stop in the Jeweled Child to learn things.
Why are you dancing, Anders?
I saw
enjoying this scene.
I saw the little hops too.
Well, if I were to take that as you asking for advice, which I will now, I would say that Kanitae appreciates straightforwardness. She may be a little awkward when presented with a situation that's past the casual bardic flirtation. But I do think that she prefers to know concrete information rather than toying around the subject, so to speak. So if I were to be the one to approach her, which I wouldn't because I'm happily married, but if I were to be the one to approach her, I would just ask for some of her time. Don't be pressured about it. You know, very casual, and allow her to come to you. Say, I'm interested in learning more about you. Pay her a compliment. And propose a time that you could spend together. Perhaps even regarding something that you two relate upon, which clearly both of you are interested in this case that we're studying. Maybe you could have a little study buddy group.
That's a weird date idea. Even
Well,
from
it's
this
a start. I mean, you said yourself you just wanted to learn some more information about her before you began to pursue her romantically. Then you can talk about dates. If you jive. We can clip this and call it Relationship Advice by Rachel, the single motherfucker.
Sometimes
does
people
that
give
mean
the best advice, though.
her face doesn't unredden for a while. She talks with you and listens to your advice. There's a point where it just kind of like she seems a little resigned about the whole thing, just because it's like this was a secret. It was not a very well kept secret, apparently, because it took one person conversing with her for her to cave. So she's just
Don't beat yourself up. I'm very persuasive.
I know. She just like has
and this information stays between us. Absolutely, I will. I promise. I would.
Between us and you, the audience at home. Anyways.
Yes. Don't tell Mel. We'll make one of those Harry Potter pinky promises that you die if you break it.
It's definitely not that's definitely not a pinky promise.
It's like
it's a little more intense.
Just make a fairy promise or something.
Might be like a promise.
Yeah, she says, I appreciate the advice, the open advice, and also, again, as you said, your silence on this until I find my own way through this.
And if you need any help or have any questions, of course Kanitae is a associate of mine. But you can come to me as a purveyor of love.
Did you say you were married?
Yes.
We met your spouse?
Not that I know of. I mean, maybe.
Oh. Well, while we're sharing things, maybe. I guess we don't have to. I don't know how present. We've seen Walter like a lot. I don't know if like you also want to bring your significant other out with us.
Oh, she's a very busy woman. Of course, I, inform her of what I'm doing, and she is always welcome to accompany me. She's just usually too busy.
Fair enough.
Which is fine.
Oh, be nice to meet her. I feel like I don't know who you're dating, but I feel like you with your significant other, Walter and Ethel, would be a really fun double date. I don't know why. I think it's the dancing.
Probably not.
It's probably the dancing.
Maybe.
I'm embarrassed. I need a cold shower. If you guys decide to go somewhere, I will meet up with you.
Is that bothering you? Do you need help? I'm off the clock, but I could do some work.
No, not that. It's more of like my brain is melting. No, the other thing, God, that's been a. Anyways, me, shower, you, whatever
Bye.
you want to do. Thank you, Temerity.
You're welcome.
Right.
Anytime. Bye, little coyote.
What have the three of you been doing while Temerity gets the dirt? Guys just been drinking wine together in the middle of the collective lobby.
In the middle of the street. Or the lobby. The lobby works better.
Oh no, I imagined like we were walking towards like where the weekend event was.
Oh, so were we just gonna let Temerity catch up with us?
Yeah, if y'all don't mind, Asunar was probably going off about Lythra being like, why the fuck is she here? Gives background to Lythra of, this bitch would fight me every chance she would get, and she would always lose. Why the fuck is she here? I don't want to see her.
Little vent sesh.
Yeah, of just, is she stalking me?
We can do that with the walking and just say that we told Temerity to catch up.
Asunar, roll me a d20.
That is an 18.
Okay.
Fear.
Alright, so yeah, you guys head on. The area that the So there's two separate spots. There's where the competition, the innovation competition / fair is going to be, which is in the Ashen Industrials, basically where all of their campus is. They have a lot of space because they make a lot of the food around here. So that's where a lot of it's going to be held. It's going to be basically they have like green grass that also grows food. Basically, you're like in the middle of a farming area where you're going to be doing some of the stuff. It's like presentational farming stuff because most of the stuff they grow is underground. But yeah, that is the main area where there's going to be like tables set up for people. There's also going to be stages for those giving performances, and there's like areas of like suspended animation for people to hold their foods, drinks, or any type of like culinary dishes they want to make, so the food stays perfectly fresh until it's released out of the stationary situations. The other situation is if you go straight east to like the edge of Wishfall, the Brazen Ballroom is where the actual Aetheri Ball is going to be. So
excellent.
Two very separate spots. You guys can check out either one. You can check out both too. I'm not going to restrict you to one. You guys have the time and capabilities.
I'm windy.
Does Ethel have detect magic?
Yes. Yes, I do.
You guys,
and it's prepped.
You guys did also get 2 detector aerosols, which have 3 uses each in them right now. So whoever wants those, they do not need to be attuned to. I don't believe.
I believe I also have detect magic.
Cool. So, at the very least, you got 2 people with detect magic.
Sweet.
I will say, detect magic only helps against things that don't have non-detection. So, the tricky thing about magic is there's always a workaround. Anyway.
We might get lucky. It might get sloppy.
Oh, the loophole related to our off-stream conversation.
Yep. Anyway, moving forward.
I am hated within this group.
That is not true. You are not.
Anyways, you guys can go to either Ashen Agriculture first, or you can go over to the Brazen. It's up to you guys. Which up first?
I think I saw people's face light up when we said ballroom, so we can start off with that.
Pretty sure I've been to the ballroom before.
You've definitely been to some dances up there. Like, there's like no question about this. The nice thing is it is on the exact opposite end of the Sublime Spa. And both of them, along with the top of the rift, which is all the way north, is all 3 spots are high up on the edge of the Wishfall walls. So they have giant glass windows, so you can see just the gorgeous views of the sunrise, sunset, the sky rolling by, the ground underneath. It's gorgeous. It's like if you were like in a huge airplane that did not have any weird limits on it, and you just had a whole glass wall to just like dance in front of. The rooms are huge, similar to other buildings. The outside is fully made of star metal. The inside does have wooden floors and stuff to keep the aesthetic of a really nice ballroom for dancing. There are a lot of extra metal accoutrements, aesthetics and stuff, but they do try to keep it like normal wooden ballroom with like red curtains as their secondary accent. Brazen, they go with a little bit of like the warm fire theme, like not so much like the sun with like yellows and whites. They go a little more to the like orange and reddish of like fire. So a lot of reds, like gold, oranges. The room is a lot of wide open space. Like at first glance, like you see that there's like a bunch of doorways out that probably lead to where guests can go, where cooks or servers can bring out dishes, performers can be off to the side. That's like an easy, cursory, quick glance. What specifically would you guys like to try to do?
Digging the layout of this place so far. Ethel, I know you like your ballroom dancing, so when the event happens, I think you should definitely get to, show off your moves and dance and get things on from that level perspective. I'm not like a couple partner dancing, so I want to have like an aerial view. So if we see something getting shady, I can swoop in real fast.
All right.
And Asunar, I know you like up close and personal. I'll probably keep you on the ground floor too.
To clarify, Vinny, we're doing it's the main events at Ashen Agriculture the first day, and the second day is the ballroom, is the ball. Yeah, cool.
Great.
Yes, I think that would be quite acceptable. Sin, let's just scout the area out too. I want to see if anything looks different or strange. And I can definitely use the detect magic to do that. But I do want to just see, just so we have a general layout of the whole building, and also just to see if anything already looks different from what we've seen in the past. Yes?
Sounds like a plan.
Can I help you guys with anything? You hear a voice come over, and you watch as a rabbit folk begins approaching you guys and looks around between you guys. Ethel, you kind of know her from two things. One, depending on how much you guys dance here, you probably have met her before. Her name is Kusana. She is a rabbit folk. Uses they, she pronouns. You know them from. They are also a cleric, or they're a cleric of love. They are also the wedding planner and ballroom owner.
Okay.
They celebrate, or they follow the god Sune, who is basically the god of warmth, love, a little bit of the sun, all of that good stuff. So this is like obviously her jam of a place. You guys probably know each other from either some of the ballroom dances if you've been here, but also like anytime if she knows that you and Walter are like engaged, she like definitely hounds you every once in a while about like, so when you want a place for your big day, she always bugs you about being like, we can change the theme up, we can make it all crescenty, all moony, we can get that moonlight coming in. And she's like she's all
she's a sweetheart. So I'm assuming that I did not work with her with Clyde then.
No.
Alright, cool. Perfect. Even better.
Yeah, so she comes up and looks at you guys like, I didn't have anyone else on the docket for today. Ethel, sweetheart, always good seeing you. Are you guys here for a tour? Are you here to finally, are we setting things up? Or something else?
Not quite yet. Not quite yet.
Alright. So you bringing me a different fish to fry? Points around at the other two. Together, separate, points at Sin and Asunar. You guys checking out for somebody else? Anything I can help y'all with?
We're actually checking out in advance of the dance this weekend. We've been doing some research on some things, and we want to just get the lay of the land a little bit and just check things out so that there's no unfortunate mishaps at the ball.
Me around, there's going to be nothing unfortunate. Well, I mean, I can't control the relationships in here, but I try to keep it as less unfortunate as possible. But yeah, I can show you guys around. Ethel, you know this place pretty well, but I can give you some of you other newbies here. Any dancers here? We got some waltz, some merengue. We got who got some dancers?
I'm not there yet, am I?
Nope.
Okay,
No.
that's what I thought.
Sin, do you dance at all?
Oh, not any of those types of dances. No, I'm sorry. I don't do the choreographed stuff. I just dance around in the in the lower levels.
Hey, it takes all types to burn up a dance floor, honey. Don't worry about it. So you can see right here we have the upper area, and you guys are on like basically a raised platform where like going down to the center, two staircases go down to about 20 feet down to the next level. So you have a raised area where Sin, if you do decide that you want a spot to stay up here, 20 feet up gives you a great layout of the entire area. These two staircases curve a little bit to come around, so that way there's kind of like two entrance ways if people like. This place is like not a place where like you would get announced in, but Ethel, you've been here before. You do know that they can magically change it so the staircases come together to a single larger grand staircase, but they keep it the sideways ones for like other things like a ball or something. Like if they're unless someone's having a wedding and needs to like be promenaded, they don't really try to like set it up like it's a big. So once they get down to the main floor, there is a center area that is mainly wooded. The entire floorboards, it's an Ashen Industrial specialty, can all switch over to be marble or switch over to be wooden, depending on what the couple prefers. And everything from the lighting to the curtains can have them chromatically shift colors depending on what suits the mood. So she shows you all the little tricks that she has. It seems like she has a like gauntlet similar to the thing that Asunar used for like cleaning, but it seems specialized specifically to control everything in this room. So like she's basically a DJ booth in her one hand. It's a lot.
That's so cool. This is so cool. So Vinny, I would like. Can I cast Detect Magic Ritual Cast it as we are walking around the area and just be looking around with that?
Yeah, sure. That's
cool.
Easy enough to do. Asunar and Sin, are you guys doing anything as this tour is going underway? She shows you the main area. She also shows you the side area where the kitchen is, where the waiting room for a bride or groom would be, the additional hallways that lead to bathrooms, and then other smaller rooms. There's also a side room, even though it's not here, Sin, you would know that this room is kind of like, on the off chance people want to do things that are usually done at the Gentle Harp or Jewel Chalice, there's a room for that over there. But they tried to keep it a main area for everyone to interact, but there are some side rooms. But Asunar, Sin, anything you guys are specifically on the lookout for while you're here? Questions you want to ask Kusana?
Since Detect Magic is going, I feel like that'll cover general areas and things. I feel like Sin is interested in any of the stationary objects, or not props, but like any ornaments or decorations or plants on the side. He's not touching them, but he's just sort of rotating it with the mystic hand a little bit, just seeing if there's anything underneath or sliding or just giving things little nudges to investigate as he goes.
Sure. Detect Magic will give you a bunch of the different types of magic things are made out of here, which is a lot. Like, once you get Detect Magic up, this whole place is enchanted. Like, that's part of the thing, is that they can move and shift a lot of things around. It does give you different schools of magic. The very simple thing, there doesn't seem to be Evocation, aka Blasting Magic, or Necromancy, aka, like, Undeady, Absorby, Negati, Energy Magic. Those two magic seems to be absent from everything, but there is transmutation, there is abjuration, there is enchantment, there's like everything else is kind of there because it's how it makes things flow, change colors, and do stuff like that. She shows you some of the tricks. So the pillars that like have like plant life on them, she like shows you how they can turn the pillar from being like a small like 3-foot pillar, raise it up to be like a 10-foot pillar. So like transmutation comes from some of those. She can transmute the plants to be either small or larger. But there's not a lot of at first glance dangerous stuff. Either Sin or Ethel, one of you with advantage can give me an Arcana check to see if there's anything more prevalent or more worrisome.
My Arcana is not bad, but not fantastic. I've got a +3.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, +6. Let's go.
Go ahead.
Advantage. Okay, 7 first. And 7 the second. 7 plus 6 is 13. And I can probably guidance myself a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, or I could guidance you. I'm supposed to be doing that. I keep forgetting to use that cantrip.
Guidance me. That way it's more teamwork. Perfect. So 3, 16.
16. You look around and check out some of these things. There seems to be some abjuration magic that's done on some of these that shoots up the pillars that you were looking at. She shows you and explains it. It's something that she knows about at the very least. That puts up a wall of force, a force field between two pillars. So if she needs to cut things off in certain directions to contain an area, she can do that. She's like, that's just standard stuff that we have here. From with your 16, you don't see anything, and everything that you ask about, like if you like point out something, she explains and shows you it. Nothing seems too crazy. The craziest thing that seems to be the wall of force, which like seems excessive, but like, I mean, you don't know what the hell happens at weddings. Like sometimes maybe you need to cut off some people from each other.
Says Benny, who works at weddings.
Yeah.
You've seen some stuff.
Yeah. Excuse me while I zone out for a few hours. Around this time in the tour, Temerity, you can come and join the Heaps, assuming they told you that they were going somehow with like a, let's just say they sent you a message or something, being like, hey, we're going to the ballroom.
I can do that.
Yeah, I think a couple of you can, so... So Temerity, you show up, these guys are mid-tour, you're seeing like weird lights going off, some things transmuting as Sin's like, hey, what's that do? Hey, is this and like Kusana's just kind of like showing them.
Hey, homies.
Hey, Temerity, welcome. We were just
I give
looking
a
at
friendly
these
hip bump
walls.
to Ethel.
Roll initiative.
I will hip bump back.
Was it in time? Can we roll for dexterity to see if our hip bump was in time?
Sure.
Yes! Oh fuck, it fell out of my bot. 13.
See what my dex plus is. That's what I thought. 16. Which was a really good roll.
Cool. So we'll say it's close enough in sync. You guys did pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good.
Who does a perfect hip bump every time?
Her hips are a little more voluptuous and childbearing than mine. So it makes sense she has a little more oomph behind them.
Just childbearing hips. Okay.
I have really small hips.
It's very funny. It's very funny. I just said it and then cringed so hard at myself.
It's not cringe when I say it though.
But Kusana's showing you guys around and is looking between you guys like, so yeah, any other questions? Are you guys, you said you were looking specifically for the upcoming event, right? The Fairy Ball that's coming up?
Yes.
Hydrate and check your posture, bitches.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Echo.
baby.
Yeah, so I was curious if those force walls you could trap something, and also curious about your evacuation protocols. Like if we had to get everybody out of here as quick as possible, can you make the walls open up or anything like that?
No, what we can do is actually raise the whole floor so that way you don't have to run up the stairs. It's a little quicker, but that's about as quick as it gets. So it brings it up level so that people aren't running up the two very narrow staircases. Instead, it's just a straight, you're up, everyone run out the door, which then still gets narrow, so it's kind of like a catch-all. Either way, it becomes narrow.
But it still sounds like an effective method. Hopefully it would come to that, but
I mean, unfortunately, it's that exit. There's a couple side exits, and then it's out the window. So, like, I mean, of the 4 options,
please don't go out the window.
yeah, that's what I figured. You know,
telling me in advance.
How many people can this like ballroom hold?
400's I think the max that we've ever done, and that was for like a big performance, big wedding.
Mental note. I fiddle with my wedding ring.
Temerity's the person who has a table that's just X's.
Just one. You know Edric's getting like 16 invitations.
Oh.
All by Owl Harry Potter style.
It's fantastic. But yeah, yeah, she says, yeah, nothing quicker than that, unfortunately. We have the side entrances, and then we have the main entrance. That's really quick as we got. Were you expecting something?
No. We're hoping not.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting someone to get stabbed 7 times in their chakra points by a mysterious figure we can't see.
We're really hoping it doesn't happen.
You see her realize what you're talking about?
I've been expecting it for a month now, so we're probably fine.
Yeah, you see her realize what you're talking about, and she's like, oh, yeah, I guess that's... I'd really like that not to happen here.
Yeah. I completely understand, and honestly, I don't know what this accent is, but it's not correct. We don't want it either.
Southern or Jersey accents just ruins the group. It doesn't matter.
It wasn't even either of those. It was just like weird British. It was not correct.
The correct British.
We don't want it to happen either, trust me.
But
we want to take precautions.
Very fair. I mean, there's some things that are going to probably get brought in by Ashen Industrial from after the competition, but I mean, I don't really have control over what it is they bring in exactly. If you guys want to come back after the competition, but before the ball, you can double check on whatever they're bringing in. I'm assuming you guys also flash your collective badges at some point, right? So she doesn't think it's just a bunch of random people looking, or
yeah. For sure.
Cool. Because Trine's not here to pretend like she's in charge, so someone else has to at least be like, hi, we're not just random people.
It would have been in the beginning of the conversation when she's like, are you here to, like, finally book? And Ethel's like, actually business.
Yeah, no. She's like, yeah, so, I mean, you guys will have permission to come in beforehand, after and then beforehand, and that time in between, so, like, you guys are more than welcome to come on over.
Oh, that would be lovely.
I don't know what they're bringing. It kind of depends on, like, the winners of the competitions and whatever the fucking theme is this year. I have no...
Of course.
I bet it clashes with my stuff, no matter what it is. It always does.
I mean, nothing can take away from the beauty of the ballroom, though.
She, like, just
what
does...
about, like an angel theme? What if the theme was angels?
She does like a chest touch and like a little smile at you, Ethel. That's always like you're a dear type thing. And then here's Temerity asking in like dollar signs, just like angel themed. You say, what kind of event are we talking about?
Oh, I don't know. Wedding.
If you wanted to come back and schedule, I do have an appointment that's about to show up for. They're checking out this room, but I could take you either right afterwards if you're willing to wait like a half hour, or if we can do some minor illusions to show you what some setups could look like. But if not, we could show you right afterwards, or if you want to book a time. But Angel we haven't done before, but I'm sure we could get very, very close. We have like some cloud themes we've done before that we could take a few concepts from.
Never done it before, you say.
Not the angel look, but I'm down to try it.
Are we busy? We have meetings to do, right, Ethel?
Yeah, we should probably check out the other place.
Today, yes, but if you want to come back,
Can I come tomorrow. Maybe.
Tomorrow's perfect. Yeah, no. I only have one tour today. I have a couple tomorrow, but whenever is good for you, just come on over. I'll make it work. I made it work for today for my surprise visitor, who I'm still trying to hook.
It's Kusana, is how you pronounce her name?
Kusana, yeah. Kusana, I believe.
Great.
I believe, because Vinny doesn't remember spellings. He does sometimes.
It is that, because I looked it up, but cool. I just wanted to make sure that's how you pronounced it.
Cool.
Kusana, can I ask who your appointment today is?
Very lovely couple from down from the surface. A Furbolg and their drow companion, Aaron and Lythra, I think? Lythra? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but they're very
Asunar
cute.
just fucking leaves. Asunar is heated and fucking leaves.
Okay, well that was weird.
She'll be fine.
I hope so, but yeah, lovely couple. They've only been here for a little while. They got brought up here after the whole landslide thing. Very cute. Right. One of them was a gladiator down on landside at some landside at some point, and I guess just a significant other. Very cute. Very excited.
That's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Yes, I believe the reaction was because Una's also a gladiator. Former colleague, perhaps? It doesn't matter.
Oh.
What's the partner's name?
Aaron, I think. Aeran. And the other one is Lythra, Lythra.
Poor Vinny having to remember how to pronounce his fantasy characters' names.
Yeah, especially ones I didn't come up with. At least the ones I come up with, I can pretend I know. But I assume the first one's pronounced Aaron or Aaron. I don't know which one. Aaron.
It's literally Aaron. Like
cool.
It's like Aaron, but air.
Aaron and Lythra. So.
No, but did you name this NPC?
These are both of mine from my background.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic.
Rival and childhood best friend.
Oh, no!
That's why that's why Asunar fucking left.
Ah! Alright, okay. We knew about Lythra. Alright. Cool, good to know.
Once you brought in that, like, oh yeah, some Furbolgs came as well, I was just like, Vincent, no. Please no.
Please no.
Well, it sounds lovely, and I hope you get good business, and I'll be back sometime.
Oh,
I'll be back this weekend specifically, but I'll be back beyond that sometime.
Every dance, every other event. Gonna bug you a little bit, especially after seeing you and Walter dancing. If I don't get you two, I'm gonna go crazy.
I love them.
Thank you, Kusana.
Yeah, so
we appreciate the tour.
Of course. Any final things before we wrap up the session? As Asunar just starts eating out the door. Eat McGeet, as I like to say. Anyone else?
I don't know. I'll save it till next week.
Next week? Alright. So as you guys all begin, I guess, like, going after wherever Asunar is, Asunar, as you exit, you walk right into your two old friends, colleagues, loved ones, as they're walking in, holding hands, just talking to each other, right at the front entrance of the Brazen Ballroom. That's where we'll pick up next week.
Interpersonal drama!
I have to be really careful with writing my backstory details. Jeez.
I mean, you weren't here when Mel's backstory really bit us in the ass.
It was very helpful. I will say both.
It was helpful until we realized, oh fuck.
It technically has not hurt you guys yet. Mel
yeah,
just
but
made
ours
some
were
interesting
going
choices.
to.
I mean,
we don't know. We might have gotten away with it. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, you guys, after an interesting couple of days of some items going missing, learning some new information about Trine, learning some new information about some old friends and rivals, having an interesting day altogether. Yeah, we're going to close out with you guys checking out of the Brazen Ballroom, and assuming that everyone is here in 2 weeks, we'll have you guys running into Kanitae, and we'll let that additional drama take place at some point.
I gotta plan a wedding.
Anyone have any final things they want to plug before we get out of here?
Please look at my Instagram, tiefling.designs.
Instagram.
I'm gonna work really hard on it. I promise.
Believe in you.
Anyone going to Anime Boston in 2 weeks? I hope to see you there.
Oh yeah.
'cause
Anime Boston
I'm dying.
for 2, if not 3 of us, or maybe 4 of us. Are we getting Rach or Anders? Maybe.
Memorial Day weekend.
I think so. No.
Yeah.
I work too much. I'm a Renaissance fair girly now.
The first time I met you was at Kanitae. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, that's the one convention I go to every year. So if you want to meet me, go to Kanitae.
I am going there this year, so I will see you there.
I
probably
can't
not.
wait. But any Renaissance fair in the Northeast area, you can run into me. I'll give you one of my fancy little gay agenda baggies.
If you're the right one, you'll get the right one too. Anyways, until next time, guys, I'm gonna plug one more time the Vault of the Ivory Queen. We have 3 days left on it, and then we have the giveaway on Friday. We have potentially the finale of Blight of OPEC coming Wednesday.
Already?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Gentlefolk coming on Friday, and then we are missing next Sunday's Light Arc because I'm shooting a wedding, but then we have Fire Arc on that Monday, so you still get a few sessions over the next couple of weeks.
And we may still have something happening next Sunday. We're
Yeah.
just still ironing out the details.
That's ambiguous because people don't message in the group, but that's fine. We make it work. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay respectful, and watch out for your rivals.